Actually, might not be grabbing your audio for some reason. I don't know. Is that a me thing or a you thing?
Can you guys hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Yep, maybe? Question mark?
Yeah,
Okay.
now we're chilling.
All right. All right. Well,
There we
there
go.
goes my intro.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, this is the semifinals matchup between Omega Gaming and Braum Lives Matter. Now, picks are starting to come through after the bans. Really quick here, we have Nautilus for Omega Gaming. Recently received a jungle buff, so that is a flex pick now. Caitlin Seraphine from Braum Lives Matter coming through. Sivir, the response for Omega Gaming. These are coming fast. These guys were prepped and ready to go. Mel going to be the third pick taken for Omega Gaming. Just waiting on that last pick for Braum Lives Matter so I can catch my breath and kind of catch everyone up to what is going on here. Let's see what it will be. This is the semifinals of Rivals League Season 2. Volibear going to be that pick. We have the number one overall seed, undefeated Braum Lives Matter on one side. On the blue side, Omega Gaming, who did win last week on stream. Looked pretty darn good doing that. Winner of this will be in the finals next week to determine the Season 2 winner. We also have a game going on off stream that is the Patriots are taking on Kachow. Try to give updates if those do come in during this match. And yeah, how
Okay.
you doing, CB?
Oh, I'm doing great. We made it there. We got our one little hiccup out of the way. No, we're chilling. Semifinals, 4 teams left. Uh, Braum Lives Matter got side selection since they were the higher seed. They opted to go red side. So, I mean, what, 280 carry bands from BLM and one jungler, and then probably 2 junglers and a mid lane from Omega. So, a little bit of jungle respect, mid and 80 carry respect. So, uh, like you said, Nautilus could be flexed, Mel could be flexed still. So technically, could go around in circles. I think we've seen, especially with Nightmare and Concrete, um, the ability to play mid and 80 carry champ pools. That Mel could still be a flex, but the Nautilus definitely. And then Caitlyn Seraphine, most likely the bot lane duo, and then Volibear. Is it Volibear top or Volibear jungle? That's really good right now.
Jungle is better than top unless something changed and I didn't keep up. As an AD carry, I don't super keep up with the meta in top, but it had fallen off in top for sure.
We have some bunch of top lane bands coming through. The Syndra, so Drakenrich losing 2 champs there. Most likely Galio mid. We've seen it flexed a few times here and there. It can be flex support, could be flex top lane. Assume it's going to go mid. The Gwen top Milio support going to come through. So we are going to see a Nautilus jungle first pick, first game of semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, we've been dying to see it. I know I've wanted this ever since you saw those buffs come out on PBE. Everyone's been kind of thinking Nautilus Jungle's going to be broken. Nautilus Jungle's going to be broken. Well, first game it's available, it's going to be taken here. Um, Looks like Melfight is going to be the answer in that lane right there. That's kind of an interesting pick. I don't know.
Isn't it the other way around? I don't know. I don't play top lane. One of those champions is good into the other one.
Yeah, I would think Gwen would be pretty good into Malphite, question mark. She's good at killing tanks, and he's good at stopping AD, and she's not AD. But maybe there's something I don't know. Galio could be decent into Gwen, but then the Mel matchup is going to be difficult. I just think wherever Malphite goes, it's not going to be the easiest matchup for them. But I'm not the number one seed in Rivals League, so, you know, maybe
True.
we'll listen to BLM here.
True, true. It is important to note that game one here, Braum Lives Matter is using their top lane sub, Alcoholic, making a reappearance. Alcoholic played week 1 for BLM against the Patriots, so I don't know how pre-planned, if the other top laner, if Kama's just chilling or just maybe not home yet. So I think Kama will be in game 2, if not for sure game 3. At least that's what the whispers were saying. So Yeah, it's. I mean, I have to assume it's going to be Malphite top into Gwyn, Volibear jungle into the Nautilus, Galio mid, Seraphine support. So, and then I guess Sivir and Mel could go either way, but you have to assume it's going to be Mel mid and Sivir Emilio bot lane.
Yeah.
Okay, which nameplate's off. No one's first seed, no one's second seed type thing. Which team comp you liking?
So I am a big fan of scaling. Um, and I think that Omega definitely has a better scaling team comp. I think it's really hard for teams to put another team away early. Um, so Sivir scales, Mel scales, Gwen scales, obviously an Enchanter and Milio, very helpful late game in team fights. So nameplate's off. I'm going Omega. Also, I just got to root for the Nautilus jungle here. I want to see it win.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I would agree with you that nameplate's off. I'm going OG. I don't know if it's as much as because we have the spicy Nautilus, but I like the team comp. I mean, you have 2.5 to 3 beef balls for BLM, but it feels like if you can pop the Caitlyn, do you just win the team fight if you're OG? Of course, both sides have some scaling. Mel and Milio and Sever, all three really gonna scale pretty hard there. So I like OG's team comp. We'll see if they can pilot it correctly. Of course, with nameplates on, it's kind of tough to go against the undefeated team. Now they have dropped a couple games, but no match series have been lost by BLM. So uh, a lot of people were high on BLM to not get upset this week. Um, it seemed like a lot of the votes were pretty much BLM's going to win in 3 or 4 games, or OG's going to run that momentum from last week with their role swap in the 80 carry mid um, and kind of catch BLM off by surprise and potentially pull the upset here. So I'm glad that this one ended up being the stream game. This one should be a close one. I expect us to at least be here for at least 4 games.
Yeah.
That's what I'll go for. That way, it's not an easy 3-0 for either team. But we'll go 4 games, hopefully 5 games. I'm trying to go to sleep. We'll see.
Hopefully you don't go to sleep during the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, these two teams did meet in the last game of the regular season. That was a 2-0 victory for BLM. You mentioned that mid ADC roster swap came out after that. So, a little bit different possibly for OG here, but, nameplate's on. These guys already won 2-0. They're undefeated. BLM, on paper at least, it is their series to lose.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. I think this game one means a lot. Obviously, uh, most people are gonna have champs on higher up on their prio list. Of course, with rivals draft, as we go on, people are gonna have to dig deeper into their champ pools. If you had a role or lane to watch here, do you have your eyes on anything specific, whether it be because of the actual player or because of the actual champs?
Yeah, so you mentioned a lot of beefy guys on BLM. Well, over on OG, I see one of the best tank killers in the game in this Gwen. If this Gwen can get ahead, not gonna have any problems with those tanks, and I think it will be a role for OG. But if Gwen can't come online, I don't know that Sivir and Mel are gonna be the best answer to killing these tanks.
Okay, yeah, I agree. This is a interesting one. Oh man, if OG comes out and gets this game won, we might be in for a long night of some exciting games. So, yeah, I'm interested to see. I mean, mid's gonna be somewhat a stalemate as long as they don't get poked out too crazily. Uh, Top lane, that one's gonna be interesting because you picked the Malphite into the Gwen. So, I mean, you're feeling good about that matchup if you're BLM. I have to assume. Bot lane, you have the poke and range, I guess, but for the most part, you should be safe. So, I mean, it has to be the Nautilus jungle. Interesting to see how this is going to be piloted. I don't think I've seen it yet since the buff in any of my games. Not that I've played very much, but I have not seen it yet. So will be an interesting one to see here on stream. Uh,
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the series. These guys just need to hurry up and load in so we can get to it.
yeah, go ahead and give the people an extra minute or two to grab some soda pop and whatnot, whatever you're into, alcohol or energy drink for the long night. Either way, we'll throw it to a break, and when we're back, we'll be on the Rift.
Welcome into Game 1 of the semifinals of Rivals League Season 2 between Braum Lives Matter and Omega. Looks like to start this series, it is a 5-point here. Okay, Caitlyn, Neon Sword, nice little poke right there. Caitlyn is rocking Fleet Footwork though, so won't get any extra gold.
Just a little Nautilus invade. Jungle.
Yeah, 8,000 just walks in, says, "What are you gonna do? I'm Nautilus." We'll get the ward down. So both chickens are gonna be warded here. We will have vision from both sides, theoretically, on where everyone is. Looks like I'm Stealthy will be pathing top to bot. And on the opposite side, 8,000 going to be pathing a bot to top.
Ooh. So I guess they both get spotted out. So both teams will be able to track the junglers. So we'll see. I'm interested to see how Nautilus is actually going to path here. Might go for a bot gank, but will get spotted out in Tribush if so.
Yeah, I mean, Nautilus, just the king of CC, gonna be very good on ganks, you would assume. With the Seraphine and the Caitlyn, you would also think that they're gonna have push here. So could be open to an early gank.
Ooh, that poke already coming through. Both members for the side of Omega already at 75% health. They do have the pots, but I guess maybe they're gonna try to bait for this Nautilus gank.
Yeah, I mean, Tiny Fists of Fury gonna go put a ward in the try. That's obviously what they're thinking of, concerned about this Nautilus, but it looks like instead Nautilus will path towards the top. Just about half a camp behind I'm Stealthy and his pathing. Galio gonna go in on the Mel here, lands the taunt, but trying to walk away, gets rooted. Nightmare poking down Drakenrich right now. No real kill pressure, but does land a bunch of damage there.
Just a little poke. A couple more of those, and Nightmare might be able to pull off a first blood on Drakenrich. Summoner spells, didn't talk about them, nothing too crazy. 2 barriers, 2 heals in the bot lane. Of course, you have the Ghost TP for the Gwen. Nothing too crazy there, as Gwen might get ran down by Alcoholic low on mana. Ooh, just a little.
To myself.
All right.
Someone every time.
All right, we are back in this one. Only missed a couple minutes, but it's going to be 1 kill. That went to BLM. Looks like I'm Stealthy got that first blood. Don't know what happened, but either way, we're here. First Dragon's going to go over to the side of BLM. 8,000 is going to flash away on the Nautilus. Mel will root Drakenrich, but with the heal coming out from Tiny Fist of Fury, it's going to be break the wrist and walk away.
Yeah, first blood, first dragon. Not a bad start for BLM here.
See if Concrete wants to run them down. The Ricochet doing some damage, but not enough. Side of BLM's going to walk this one out. So 3,000 gold lead. Only missed 1 kill. That's okay. And we're back at it. So up 1 kill, up 1 dragon. Other than that, everyone's just chilling. We do have a 15 CS lead in the top lane in favor of Omega.
Yeah, we kind of thought Big News would have the advantage there in that top lane. Looks like it might be coming true here.
Yeah, I'm really. I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at Alcoholics. OP has 8,000. Almost hooks Tiny Fist of Fury. Seraphine should be able to walk this one out. Unless she walks right into Big News. Big News gonna ghost. Big News going to. Has the ult up. Is going to use it. Seraphine might live. Seraphine is gonna live. I'm stealthy 6.
Oh,
Oh, and Gwen might have gone too far. The flash from I'm Stealthy. Poodle has roamed up. Concrete is here. Nightmare is here. I don't think they have enough damage. So after just crossed the 8.5 minute mark, we are now at 3 kills for BLM to 0 for Omegas. Draken's gonna get a taunt on Nightmare just for funsies.
now we did say that we thought Omega was the better scaling comp. So, you know, not being down too much could be a win for them here.
Yeah, we saw last week, you know, Omega playing those scaling comps, and EOI really just not having the best early game. So Omega had solid early game, and then the scaling comp. This time around, it's looking a little different.
There's a reason why Braum Lives Matter was the #1 siege and undefeated coming to this point.
True Volibear is strong, has 4 stacks on the Dark Seal already as the Grubs are going down for the side of BLM. We'll see if Omega wants to fight this one. Mel's going to TP. Mid Nautilus ult's gonna come up. Gwen's gonna go in. Poodle's trying to help, but there's just not enough damage there. Nightmare is now here. Nightmare has the ult. This Volibear is strong. Nice flash from Poodle. Should be able to get away. Neon Sword, no Caitlyn ult to use, so blink and you miss it. Now BLM has the Void Grubs and has 5 kills to 0.
Big early game from them. You know, we wanted to root for this this Nautilus, but maybe it isn't the tech we thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to even like say it's the champion at this point of how the game's gone. I mean, I guess you can say I'm Stealthy's on Volibear, a champion with a lot more damage, a lot more kill pressure, other than just the utility from the Nautilus. So, as of right now, Volibear is the champ to stay away from.
Yeah, 4 of the kills already. Definitely, you know, popping off for I'm Stealthy here. About 30 seconds, yeah.
So we have Drake #2 spawned. We have full prio for BLM. This should be a free. Dragon #2, Nightmare, no TP, no mana is going to have to back. And at this point, I don't even know. It feels like maybe you keep the team away from the Gwen and let Gwen side lane as much as possible. I mean, yeah, you have the Sivir scaling Milio, but you gotta stop dying. A lot of
Gwen
damage
does have
from
the
them.
Gwen does have the CS advantage.
2 summoners come out from Sivir as Volibear. Ultin felt like he got disrespected there for a second. Seraphine ult, Volibear ult, Caitlyn ult, all gonna go down. No kills gonna come from that one. Still Still 5-0, 2 dragons, 4 BLM. I mean, I don't know. I like playing the scaling game. If you can stop getting pulled into team fights, maybe fight wherever Volibear's not, because he's majority of the gold.
Although, hear me out. Hear me out. Biggest bounty is on Volibear, so you want to fight where he is.
Okay. Yeah, true. You gotta get that gold. Gotta shut down that Dark Seal. Can you kill him is the question, I guess.
That is a good question. I'm not sure that they can.
I mean, Mel's already hitting O's Drakenrich. Going to run into the wall there and taunt nobody. No objective coming up anytime soon, so have the opportunity here just to get some CS if you're the side of OG. Try to stay as close as you can in this game while your team can scale. We're going to see what's likely going to be a tank Malphite. Probably split for the Galio, I have to assume. But AP Volibear. Where's the I was going to say AD Nautilus, but he actually is building AP right now. Or I guess Leandries.
I think you built him similar to like you would in a movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Malphite ult's going to come in. I'm stealthy is topside. Going to flash forward, but big news. Going to be able to get out of that one. Is going to ult. Is going to be able to clear the wave. And Nautilus is bot lane onto the Seraphine. Got the flash. Nautilus has the ult. Gonna ult the Seraphine. This should be a kill for the Sivir. It is. And in the mid lane, Mel going to block Draken. We have fights in every single lane. Mel gonna run down Drakenrich. Has the ult. And that is going to be enough damage. So, top lane gank from BLM. Gwen survives. And the other two lanes are going to fight. And those will go in the favor of Omega. 2-5 here, gold almost even.
I mean, are they starting to come online? We said they needed to scale. It could be happening. It's at least starting to happen here.
Yeah. It's already happening. Nightmare's already spitting on the smell as Volibear is going to get the gank off. Nightmare's going to have to flash that one. I don't even know if you had a flash. You had the Nautilus there to hover you, but nonetheless going to flash to safety. And Nautilus is going to start up this Rift Herald. Galio TPs behind the bot laners. Poodle's going to flash to safety. Concrete is going to spell shield the taunt, I think. I don't know if the taunt ran out, but I think Concrete's going to spell shield that one. So kind of a tough lane to gank in a Milio Sivir. Fairly safe lane. And there goes the TP for Drakenrich. So Rift Herald going to go down for OG. And, I mean, technically we have a Omega gold lead here at 16 minutes into the game.
Yeah, just like 5 minutes ago, it looked all BLM, but these champions starting to come online. They're able to get a couple kills. And outside of this Volibear, it is looking pretty good for Omega.
I did have some people tell me this week that can't be sleeping on Omega, that they could definitely pull the upset. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, but I think most everyone assumed that this was going to be the game of the week. That's what we like. That's what we like from a casting standpoint, from a fan standpoint. We want the games to be close. We just don't want to stay up till 1 a.m.
I mean, for a good game, we might be willing to. But I don't want... If we're going to Game 5, it better not be a stop. I don't want to stay up for a stop.
Yeah, that's always. But at least we'll see some fun champions in Game 5.
That would be true.
Drakenrich going to go in mid lane. Going to get a good chunk off of Nightmare, but the tough part for the Galio is to get away from the Mel once you go in. And the Caitlyn ult's going to make sure that the side of BLM is going to win that trade. And Rift Herald used topside for Omega. It's going to take down that first tower. And even more action. 8,000 in the mid lane on this Nautilus, going to ult the Galio. Going to... I Looked like he DC'd for a second, but it's just going to CC everybody. Nightmare's going to get the ult off, going to take down the Volibear. There goes a shutdown onto the Mel. And Nightmare's Mel is a champion to be afraid of if you're the side of BLM.
Yeah, that's probably the last person you would want the shutdown to go on.
Is going to be a third dragon over to BLM, so you have that kind of bot lane agency, depending on how you want to fight for soul. You can always give it up whenever it spawns in 4 minutes. Sivert ult's actually going to go off, going to take down Drakenrich, going to take down Tiny Fists of Fury, and once again, blink and you miss it. Concrete Sivir 3-0.
You know, Sivir is just one of those champions that I do not like in the bot lane. So uninteractive early, but scales really well and can be very impactful late.
You play any Sivir at all?
Yeah, I try not to.
Okay, good. Only when needed. Big news.
Misfortune or Asher up, we're taking that.
Yeah, true. Big news is going to Ghost forward to try to catch out Alcoholic, but not quite going to work. This Alcoholic can just ult away to safety. Mel going to push this bot lane as Drakenrich going to go down and match. We have Atacon spawning in a minute on the top side. Omega has that top lane prio and pressure since taking that first tower. And we'll have to see how Omega wants to play this one. I don't see very many teams go for the early Atacon, which makes sense, unless you're just way far ahead. It's always super risky to start that, have your team get shredded, and then have the other team show up, and usually the team that starts it loses, if the game's still close, which it is.
I've seen so many games turn on that. Even if it's not close, still the best chance for a team to get back in is to fight someone who's been shredded by Otacon.
$8,000 trying to get a little cheese off on the top side, but Alcoholic going toward the bush, going to spot out the Nautilus. And no action happening yet. We have a 3v3 potential in mid lane, but it looks like everyone's going to back off. The vision control by BLM is crazy good right now on the bot side. Has the entire bot side jungle, and even the top side jungle for the most part, warded as spoken into existence. Omega Gaming gonna flirt with the Atacon there for a second, but going to opt to back away smartly, I'd say.
Yeah, and you're talking about this vision. You don't get to be the #1 seed undefeated if you don't have good vision. Good vision wins games, so the best teams always have the best vision.
It's one of those stats that, most people don't appreciate. That's okay. And Omega's going to go right back to this Atacon. They did not get spotted out, but I think... No, Alcoholic does not quite see the Atacon getting taken yet, but now he does. He is going to ward it. He is going to get spotted out. Can they burst it down fast enough? Everyone's about to collapse on this one. Malphite ult's going to come through onto Big News. Big News is going to go down. The Volibear ult's going to come through. 8,000. Going to get the ult off. Who's going to get the Atacon? Oh, and the smite too early by 8,000. I'm stealthy going to take the Atacon. BLM going to take 1 kill, 2 kills. Can it be more? Nice flash by Nightmare. Poodle kind of out in no man's land, but a CC cooldowns might be done. No, Concrete's going to go through. Go down, excuse me. Nightmare's ult did a lot of damage, not quite enough. Omega wants more. Might get a little risky here. And what looked like a potential good sneak for the Atacon there is not going to go Omega's way. 3 for 0, and the Atacon going over to Braum Lives Matter.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just call that a caster curse. We talked about how you don't want to take it early because you just get wiped if you start it. And That's exactly what happens right there. We just spoke it into existence, as you said.
Yeah, it was weird. They almost tried it earlier and they went back to it again. And hold your horses there. We're gonna have another fight. Drakenrich going to get the taunt off. For the most part, a front to back, a lot of Caitlyn traps, and Malphite all going to knock out 3 members for the side of Omega, but Malphite might not be able to get out. Drakenrich going very low in the middle of that team fight. I'm Stealthy going to go in, but going to get blasted, and now the side of Omega is running down Braum Lives Matter. A 3-for-0 in the other direction over this dragon. Okay, we got a ball game.
Yeah, that's nice back and forth.
That smite is going to hit. Had to make sure his smite button was still working after that Atakani. I think he smited it down to like 91 health or something like that. Tough. Hate to see it, but that fight heavily favored for Omega. I mean, Drakenrich and Stealthy, 2 of the beefier boys for the side of BLM. I mean, they both just got shredded in the middle of that team fight. And so you have to think, are we at the point in the game now, 24 minutes in, Mel and Sivir, if they don't get CC'd, if they don't get taken out of the fight, they're just going to be shredding.
Yeah, I mean, this Gwen too.
True.
Obviously, very good at taking. Still doing all the damage up there. They got a nice Riftmaker, Nashers, you know?
Yeah, true.
Big News putting in the work.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah, this Gwen is popping.
Gwen is outputting a lot of damage, and with the, I'm not going to pretend to know which ability it is, but the one that's good against ranged champions, that one.
I don't know what it's called, but the one that you can't hit them. I love that one.
Yeah. That paired with the Mel, paired with Emilio, it's interesting team fights as Nightmare's going to CC the Seraphine with the ult. You're just going to die if you're a squishy into a late game Mel. Mel now 5-1-1. 9-8 favored for the side of Omega now with a 3,500 gold lead.
Once again, we talked about it earlier, but if you didn't get a big lead early, this Omega team comp just looks like it just wins late. So
yeah, I think we're past that mark of team fights. If played, in a non-troll way, they should definitely favor Omega here. Nautilus going to hook I'm Stealthy. You're in the jungle though. Mel's going to throw the Seraphine ult back into BLM. Volibear ult going to come through. Concrete throwing a lot of damage. In those chokes, you can't get to the carries. You can't get to the Mel. You can't get to the Sivir. Yes, you have a Seraphine ult, which is good for those jungle fights, but when you have a Mel on the other team, you just ulted your own team. So another fight for Omega as Alcoholic's going to ult Big News here in the bottom lane. And we might have a fight to the death. Big News not able to quite get enough damage onto the Malphite. And the Caitlyn ult will come through for a nice little KS. Taking this Caitlyn to 2-1.
yeah, Caitlyn, one of those champs. Have to get a pretty big lead early. Not the most impactful ADC late game. So
We're going to have a TP come from the Galio, from the Malphite. This Baron started up by Omega. We're going to see a big fight here. Caitlyn going for the backline. 8,000 still trying to stay on this Baron. Nightmare stuck in the middle. Concrete spitting as much damage as he can, but not going to be enough. And a 2-0 in favor of BLM. And that's the second objective of this game, that OG's just starting in what I would say just bad spots.
yeah, I mean, it was a 4v5. I don't know why when you're down a team member, you're trying to start an objective. So questionable calls there.
8,000 going to go back in to try to steal this Baron. Big News TP'd in. Poodle's here first. And I'm Stealthy's going to take the Baron, but this Gwen's still doing some damage. Not going to be enough. And what looked like a decent Yep, maybe forced. Baron steal attempt. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Yeah, 2-for-1 trade. So Baron's going to go to the side of BLM. 13 kills to 12 at this point. The number of kills doesn't really matter as much as how big the wallets are. But pretty even. Baron buff. We'll see how BLM actually opts to use this Baron, as we have Soul coming up in 25 seconds for BLM.
They're just saying, you know, Omega looks pretty good unless they start trolling things, and every single time you say something like that, you just know it's going to mean that they're going to start trolling. And
Yeah, their team fight is so strong that starting these objectives seems kind of troll. As Nightmare by himself going to get claps by this Volibear. Might try to pop the Seraphine, but oh, it is going to be enough damage. A 1-for-1 trade. I don't think that 1-for-1 trade necessarily favors Omega, but I guess you'll take it given the circumstances. If we're going to have a 2v2 fight here in the mid lane right before this dragon, make it a 3-on-3, make it a 4-on-4. 8,000 getting chunked. The Malphite ult gonna go onto the back line. 8,000 getting super low. 2-3 different fights going on. Big News trying to fight the back line. Concrete going to get taken down, and after your Sivir's dead with your Mel already dead, it's not gonna be enough damage for Omega. So I don't know. It has felt like Omega has had multiple opportunities to step on the gas and really take the reins of this game, I guess. But just 3 objective team fights in a row, really uncoordinated it seemed like for Omega. So 3,000 gold lead. VLN, they're going to take that 4th Drake. Still have the Baron buff. I don't know. Can Omega figure this one out?
you just got to fight with the Mel here. The last 2 team fights, they lost both of them, and both times Mel not there. Either got picked before the fight, or they some reason decided to take the fight without her. That's 8 of your 13 kills, so kind of need that Mel there if you want to fight.
Yeah, the team fights where Mel and Sivir can just spit the entire time, it's heavily gone in favor of Omega. Outside of those 2 or 3 team fights, it's all BLM, as they seem like the more coordinated team. So who cares if the other team outscales you or if they're stronger or were stronger? If you're going to play a lot more coordinated than them, then you see what happens. But it's only 3,000 gold lead. It's only a Hex Tech Soul. I mean, what does that really do? That would be terrible to have on Mel, I guess, right?
Horrible.
Your carries are still spitting. It's still definitely a winnable game. We'll see. I assume this one's at least going to make it to the Elder Dragon in 4.5 minutes. As the Baron has ran out. Oh, I thought for a second Omega was going to be able to collapse onto BLM there. The Gwen has back to try to match this Malphite in the bot lane. And again, the vision control for BLM is just nutty. I'm stealthy looking for a pick. Gonna chase down 8,000 as Nautilus. Going to CC him. Nautilus uses his ult on strictly just the Volibear. And Nautilus is just gonna get melted. He's gonna survive there for a little bit, but the team was not really able to follow up. Now Malphite ult's going to come through, going to hit Nightmare. Nightmare's gonna get popped out in front of the team, too far up. Concrete going to get collapsed on next. The Galio ult gonna come through. And they're just gonna die. BLM's gonna go for the wipe here. Not gonna be strong enough. One tower goes down though. Neon Sword. That's why Neon Sword's on the board for the most towers in this league. He said, I don't care about y'all fighting. I'm trying to win this game. And Neon Sword's just gonna take all the towers and the Nexus. And game 1 goes to Braum Lives Matter, the undefeated team here in Rivals League.
Like you said, sometimes scaling doesn't matter. The fact that they're ahead doesn't matter. Their champs are better doesn't matter. If you got hands, you can make a big difference. And BLM's got some hands.
True. Let's see if I have the... I think I have it. I do have it. There we go.
And as you were talking about, big difference right there for that vision. I mean, Poodle, great vision there, but the rest of the team, getting doubled up mostly in almost all the other lanes. I mean, Neon Sword, 33 vision score on the ADC. That's doing pretty well. More than double what Concrete put out on the Sivir right there. So, um, both supports doing a great job, but all across the board for BLM, great vision. You mentioned it multiple times in that, and it made a huge difference.
Yeah, vision going a long way. The team coordination in those last few objectives, uh, it just felt like OG won a team fight and then immediately wanted to play super risky and take an objective with like two people when he just really didn't need to. So uh, I will say, after the majority of that game, obviously BLM late game and just the coordination of team fights around objectives sets them apart from most every team in the league. But Omega there for a while, I mean, they were stronger. I mean, you look at the damage. I'm not going to do that math in my head, but the two carries leading the way for the side of Omega. So they definitely have uh, the the ability here to take this one, to take this series. All they need is one win at a time. So nonetheless, it's going to be BLM up 1-0 here. Uh, anything great? I mean, obviously all these champs are now off the board. I'm Stealthy, arguably player of the game, got BLM kind of through that super early game. I mean, do you have a MVP for game one?
Yeah, I mean, whoever is the shot caller on the team, honestly, because they made some great macro plays. But definitely, I'm Stealthy. Got his team ahead early. There was that mid game lull, but able to finish it off. So I think because they needed to get ahead, they did. I'm Stealthy is a good pick for that MVP game one.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. I was gonna say outdamaged mid laner, but it was Galio, so I take that back. It's not too crazy surprising. And the counter pick Malphite into the Gwyn seemed to work out. I don't know why
Yeah,
I'm super blurry, but
it wasn't that great in lane. However, it worked out when it needed to, which is at the end of the game. You look at the screen, you're like, oh, he didn't die. He did pretty well there. So, um, it got them the win, and that's all that really matters.
a win is a win. BLM up 1-0 in the semifinals match, best of 5. All 20 of those champions are now off the board. So I have to think that BLM has one of the biggest champ pools in the league. I'm basing that off of nothing at all other than they're the first seed overall. So they played. Did they go? Oh, I guess they had a bye. So this is their first best of 5, right?
Yeah, it's their first best of 5. They this is a team that has been in other leagues and competitions before coming to Rivals League this season. So I don't think that that's going to be too much of a worry for them getting late into series. They've done it before, even if it wasn't Rivals League. Obviously, the way we draft is a little bit different. Going to be a lot more champions off the board than there normally would be. But I'm not too worried about BLM and not having the experience of going super deep in a Rivals League best of 5.
We'll have to see. It looks like Alcoholic for BLM is going to be playing in this game too. I think it was going to be kind of a 50-50 on who was going to play top lane in game 2. So it looks like same lineup for BLM. Omega is opting to take red side though. So going to change it up a little bit. Going to have that counter pick for Omega. And we are getting ready for draft here in game 2.
Yeah, we've seen that counter pick for one of your solo laners been really big. Definitely teams have been wanting and favoring red side recently here, so not a big surprise for them to take that. If you're Omega, I think you may have played it a little poorly, but you know I think as far as draft goes, I did like the draft. I liked what their champions had to offer, even if they were maybe not piloted in the most ideal way. So, Scaling won them last week. I think Scaling could have won them game one if they just, get a little bit better macro going on. So, don't change anything, my guys. Let's get another Scaling draft in here.
Yeah, I mean, you take away. I'm not gonna say any freebies that you gave the enemy jungler because I'm Stealthy played it very well in the early game. Um, so maybe you play a little bit safer. You're not playing respectfully. I think BLM is better than EOI was. So um, it's not just going to be a free. Well, yeah, we have a scaling comp, but we can still kill him at will, like we could last week. So we'll see if they opt to go a scaling comp again. Looks like we have 2 mid lane bans and a jungle ban from BLM, and then 2 jungle bans and an 80 carry ban from Omega. Uh, Game 2 here in Rivals Draft, best of 5, but all 5 bans are still active here, so no champion played or banned in Game 1 is allowed here for the rest of the series. If we have a Maokai come through, have to assume that's going to be the jungle.
Yeah, we've seen people flex at support, but obviously, jungle is where it's most often played. Silas and Varus going to be coming in for Omega. That Silas is a little early here. You know, you don't often see a solo laner taken so quickly. But Silas actually, I believe, reading patch notes, is able to jungle again. So maybe they're gonna put that in the jungle. We'll see.
I'm thinking tank Varus. Was it tank Varus support or AD carry? I don't even remember. But I seen that last split. But I'm going to assume it has to be a flex, right? No way you take Silas that early and it not be a flex.
Yeah, I would think that they would be positioning it more for the jungle with the area they took it. Tristana Annie for BLM.
Okay. It could be Annie support. I've seen that. Or you're assuming it's going to be Silas mid and Annie mid into that. As far as Tristana, most likely the 80 carries. I guess you could send the Tristana mid, but maybe that's getting a little too crazy as we see the Ornn top lane locked in.
Now that is interesting. Omega does have a last pick here. Usually you try to save that for your top laner, but instead, taking it R3, it does allow you to ban some champions you wouldn't want to face into it. And they did ban the Mundo. Zyro is the ban for BLM, and somewhere out there, Sauce is crying.
Yeah, the Ornn coming through. Yeah, that's interesting unless one of them is a for sure flex. That's to show both of your solo laners blind after choosing red side while you see the enemy what has to be jungle. It doesn't have to be, but I guess it's most likely jungle. You're given your support counter pick. I like it. Most everybody that doesn't play support won't like that.
It's important, but yeah, I don't think it's that important. I would think that the Silas is the flex here. Ornn really needs that experience of a solo lane, so you can't really flex that or you lose the ornament benefit. Nami going to be chosen here for Omega, so it is not the support that's going to be saved for the counter pick here.
So I guess we're assuming Silas jungle is the flex.
Yeah, I have some friends that play jungle that said that it's viable now, so, maybe. Question mark. And Bessa gonna be locked in for BLM.
And just a quick little side note as we're getting news. Kachow Esports has taken game 1 from the Patriots. So as they move towards game 2, Kachow, the underdog, up 1-0 right now.
Exactly expected. That would probably be the biggest upset in the history of Rivals League, which is only 2 splits old, but still the biggest one that I think would have ever happened if Kachow can continue to pull that thing off.
We'll see. I've been saying Kia Macho can carry. As we note the last picks that came through, Mbessa going to be locked in top lane for BLM, and then the Tristana paired with the Karma. You could flex the Annie and Karma. Have to assume it's going to be Karma support though. And then the Victor mid. So it is going to be a Silas jungle into the Maokai. So interesting team comp. I say both team comps.
We saw Nautilus, who just recently got put back into the jungle, game 1. Now we see Silas, game 2. OG is cooking over here, right? 8,000 just wants to play all the new champs in the jungle. Got sick of all the old ones.
Yeah, 8,000 said, guys, win or lose, I'm trying to have some fun tonight. So he got to put on Nautilus and now the Silas. I mean, I like it. It's kind of a swap. You had Nautilus into a Volibear. Volibear, of course, having a lot more damage of a threat, and now it's kind of flipped for Omega now, more of the kill threat. Granted, you could say the Maokai, you only really need a CC bot for BLM because of how their lanes are. You have an Ambessa, you have a Tristana, even the Annie is strong, especially compared to the Victor that needs to scale. So I don't know. Okay, what are we thinking? Nameplates off. Just looking at the team comps.
Oh, I actually like BLM in this one. I like the Maokai. I think Annie is a really good champ. I'm going with them here. I'm not sold on the Silas jungle thing. I haven't seen it, so maybe they can sell it to me right here. This is his chance.
I feel like a lot of times I would pick a team that has a Silas and a Nami both. Big fan of both of those. But also a Karma lane into a Nami lane. You should have that poke. You can poke them out a little bit and then go aggressive with the Tristana. Yeah, I think nameplates on or off. I'm gonna rock with BLM. It's just the Maokai setup into what could be a very strong early game Tristana here, depending on how they're gonna play it. Yeah, I like that. The Silas, I have hopes. I have high hopes for the Silas. Had high hopes for the Nautilus. So yeah, that one's gonna be some interesting setups. I think for OG, you have to fight it at objectives with all 5. And if you're gonna start an objective, it needs to be free. If you're only gonna have 2 or 3 of your members there, so we'll see if they can self-correct that one as we head into this game too.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right, we will let them finish their draft in the client, load in for the spectator, and we will send it to an intermission when we're back. We'll be on the Rift for Game 2 in the semifinals best of 5 series between BLM, who is up with 1 win over Omega Gaming. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Game 2 of Rivals League semifinals. We have on the red side here, it looks like a 5-point on both sides, actually.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Braum Lives Matter taking Game 1. So they will have the 1-0 lead over Omega here.
So no spicy team invades yet.
Nothing too crazy. Looking at summoners,
Minions have
also nothing too crazy. Bot lanes are different with the exhaust heal for Neon Sword Tiny Fist of Fury versus the barrier exhaust for Concrete Poodle.
I actually don't hate the exhaust for Neon Sword. You're just gonna save that for if 8,000 gets on top of you. I mean, I guess you could have swapped, but I don't know. I like Karma with heal, so it's fine. Nothing crazy. As I looked away and didn't see what was said in chat, but we have a pause.
Yeah, it looks like top DC'd here. So quick little pause here. I guess theoretically of note, Concrete did go with the Comet on Varus, so looking for poke Varus, question mark, I would think. Yeah, nothing else too crazy here. Kind of looks like everything is what you would expect. But that will mean that, the Tristana will win extended trades with that lethal tempo.
We do have the Electrocute for the Annie. Obviously, it's pretty stock standard. I'm curious to see how 8,000 is going to pilot this one. It's going to play aggressive. It might. That's where it gets tough because you don't really have a pushing lane for the side of Omega, but you have a jungler that wants to be maybe some level of proactive, but you can't be if all three of your lanes are behind. So might open you up for a gank opportunity. But are any of your laners strong enough to really kill like pre-6?
Yeah, obviously once you get 6, a lot of setup there with this Varus ult, the Ornn ult, you got the Nami wave, lots of good setup in those lanes. Not as much in that mid lane, unless 8,000 can hit the CC here, or maybe Drakenrich just missed positions. Does look like we are loading back into the game.
This should hopefully just be the pause. A little delay here as I guess apologies to both teams as I probably should have thrown it back to the caster desk or whatnot because with that being a multi-minute pause, you can see where the enemy is chilling at. But
Shame on you if you were trying to get an advantage.
true. But I guess both teams can do it, so hey. That's okay.
Looks like a little bit of cheese, theoretically, by Neon Sword Tiny Fist of Fury there.
Both junglers starting on the top side. So it looks like I'm Stealthy's going to be ahead. Big News going to 2 first and get a little bit of damage onto Alcoholics Mbessa.
Bot lane also going to hit level 2.
Yeah, the clear time down to bot side for the Maokai is just way faster than this Sylas is going.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Sylas started weirdly ending on his golems means he has to walk a lot further. They finished the camp around the same time, but he just had a lot further to walk.
Interesting choices were made. We're gonna have a early back for Concrete and Poodle in the bot lane.
Yeah, looking to get a quick buy, possibly. We do have Alcoholic going in on big news. Got a little bit of a chunk there. It's going to be the early tier for Concrete on this Varus, by the way. That will be the buy.
They're gonna be back in time to catch this wave, so we'll see if they want to attempt to push it. Obviously, Tristana has kind of that auto push in her passive, but Silas is here for the bot. Scuttle might look for a mid gank here, but Drakenrich has that stun up, has the flash up,
It's just the stun.
and a nice
Flashes,
play.
but... Yeah, 8,000 there. We said that, you know, it's going to have to be a little bit of mispositioning, theoretically, to get that gank off in the mid lane. That's exactly what happened. But
Nice.
Neon Sword going to answer right there. I'm stealthy. Ganking bot says, you gank mid, I'm going to gank bot. And it's going to be 1 for 1.
Yeah, and you have to assume at this point Maokai was going to either be top or bot. Just playing a little too loose there. Varus is going to fall. It does have the flash, but it was not worth using. Drakenrich does not have flash. Immediately comes back to lane, gets chunked down, going to get taken down by Nightmare. So now 2 KP on this Victor. You have a Victor on your team, that's definitely what you want to see as you work through your stacks.
You know, Drakenrich is saying, what the heck is happening? He killed me, I come back to lane, he kills me again. Someone get the 8,000 out of here.
Oh, I mean, a good game plan for Omega. I mean, camp the mid lane. Camp what a lot of people are saying is BLM's best player, at least most consistent, I would say, and can very well carry. Is now going to be 0-2 here, I mean, before the 5-minute mark.
And we see this once again. It is a scaling comp with, you know, you have this Victor, you have this Ornn, and yet they are still getting ahead here.
So it might come down to the question of how does their team fight go late game, or do they get far enough ahead by the time they infinitely scale anyway? But, you know, we're a little too ahead of ourselves.
I'm stealthy coming from behind here. Is spotted on a ward, but it could be too late. It's going to be flash down. Varus getting very low here. They do not get anything, but they get both flashes. Also barrier from the Varus, so no sums on this ADC. Is just inviting Stealthy to come back again.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 times now. It's easy to gank whenever there's no vision. It's just... I mean, top side, I suppose you can say Omega has some vision, but bot side, once again, is favored for BLM already just 6 minutes in. So they have to step up that vision game, maybe get an early sweeper on your next back. Screw the pots, get some pink wards, who knows, but cannot risk getting ganked again and giving this Tristana any more kills early.
Yeah, already a 15 CS lead as well as the kill. Tristana with this BF sword certainly going to outdamage the tier on the side of Concrete. Cameraman decided not to show that, but 8,000 is going to take the first dragon of the game here.
Yeah, he said it was so free, there was no point in showing it, I guess.
Did turn out to be, though. Things coming down to the top side.
Maokai's here, but it's going to get spotted out on vision. Should be big chillin'. 4 big news. On this orange, we have grubs spawning. Now, you have the top lane prio. Silas is nearby. You have the mid lane push. And they're gonna
Double
turn their
gank
sights.
coming mid lane right here.
A nice flash
And-
by Nightmare.
Yeah, Nightmare with the flash, able to avoid everything.
Orn ult gonna come
Tessa
through.
going in. Orn re-engages with the ultimate. These two going at it. Orn flashes forward. He's gonna get the kill in the 1v1, the solo bolo to big news.
This Karmic, I don't think with the minions, gonna be kind of tough to do enough damage here into this Orn, despite being so low and out of mana. Just gonna take the free grubs for the side of BLM. Down 1-3 kills, down a dragon, but the grubs might end up being huge later in this game. Down 1,000 gold. Nice solo bolo by the Orn. Maybe Mbessa thought that someone was going to rotate up on BLM's side, but not able to do that quite fast enough.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of those Orn passive things that just really helps you. He was building items for himself in lane, so because of that, had the item advantage when that fight took place.
That's cheating. One. The range for Victor proving to be a problem here in the mid lane. Obviously not, a kill hasn't happened in a while mid lane, but that mid lane prio that Nightmare has been able to have. Obviously costing the flash with the lack of vision, which we've touched on 20 times already, is Alcoholic waiting in the wings here. And here comes the Maokai ult. Nightmare going to run back to the tower, but it might not be close enough. Any ult going to come through the Maokai Q, and a shutdown for Drakenrich.
Yeah, there's multiple ults expended there. The Twisted Advance, the Tibbers. Nightmare just kind of stands there and says, "All right, guys, you got me."
And Nightmare has a ward in his pocket. You know the top laner's off map. Maybe you assumed Mbessa it back, but that's a tough one. Especially with those Maokai ults coming from the jungle.
It's like an RKO, man. It's out of nowhere.
True. Head on a swivel though.
All right, Orn going to dash out. Does see I'm stealthy there. Big news, going to get away to safety. We're going to take this fight. Orn with the knock-up. He's going to call the horn down. But nice dodge there by Alcoholic with the ult. Still is going to go the way of big news, but the dodge did certainly save Alcoholic's life.
Nice little side step action. Alcohol gonna opt to back. Does both top laner have that TP? Looks like Mbess is actually gonna go for that top wave first. 8,000 getting caught here in the jungle. 2 Maokai ults coming through. 8,000 gonna get very low. Gonna go back into I'm Stealthy. Gonna have to flash away as Nightmare is here, but not strong enough. No Victor ult up yet.
And Omega did have their bot lane rotate up first. Tibbers coming out.
Any ult gonna come through?
Very low.
Ooh, that E not quite gonna hit Drakenrich.
Some pretty low health bars, but no one going down in this mid lane. We do have Drakenrich TPing back. These two top laners, they just love to fight and hit each other.
We have a dragon spawned bot side. We have the 2v1 right now in the bot lane as top lane. Gonna get some chip damage back and forth. I'm Stealthy. Just gonna walk through lane. Fastest path to get to that dragon. Make sure they can check it. Going to get chunked out, but 8,000 is going to be here, going to miss from the invulnerability of I'm Stealthy. Going underground there to avoid the CC from the Silas, and is going to walk away with his life. I have to assume this is going to be a free dragon number 2 for the side of Omega.
Yeah, it looks like it should be free based off of the wave states, but this Annie right now going in Drachenrich. The ult coming out from Nightmare. Don't think it's going to be enough, but it certainly will be enough to scare the Annie away. Alcoholic uses the TP to the mid lane. 8,000 will secure the second dragon.
So pulls that TPO and a
Eh.
flash ult
Ooh,
from
Annie with the flash
Drakenrich.
forward.
Oh, and the E
Oh,
might.
it's going to be so close, but
No
Annie
burn.
will get out.
No burn item for the victor means Annie is going to live that one.
Instead went Rod of Ages for the first item. Great for the scaling team comp, which is what they're trying to pull off, but will lose them the kill right there. Backs will be stopped by Tiny Fists of Fury.
A little bit of back and forth here. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, still a 1,000 gold difference coming up on 15 minutes here. Looking at the map, we mentioned it in game 1 that BLM had the advantage in the vision, but I see more red wards down this game, so Omega listened up and they are certainly warding a little bit better than they were in game 1.
Yeah, overall looking good for Omega, maybe outside of the most important order in the support, but mid looking good for Omega. If you're keeping tabs per role, as you mentioned, the scaling for Victor, so going for that super late game. I don't know what he's going to go next. Obviously, you see the MR come out for the Victor. Victor tired of getting flash ulted by the Annie, as 8,000's here for the double CC onto the Annie, and Annie, even if Annie had flash, it would have been tough to get out of that one.
Yeah, this 8,000 looking pretty comfortable on this Silas jungle. Has flash coming out from the Karma Tiny Fist of Fury, forced to do that.
Going to take that Maokai. We might have 2 fights at the same time. A flash forward from I'm Stealthy trying to get the CC onto the Silas, but not quite able to catch him. Now TP is going to come through for the Ornn. But 8,000 might get taken out first. He is going to get the Maokai ult off. It's not going to be enough. The Ornn ult's going to come through. Nightmare's here to do some damage. Going to get the E onto the Maokai. Going to take him down. Going to have a flash heal from Tiny Fist of Fury that he's going to do some damage, but the shield for Karma not going to be enough if you're going to have big news flash forward to get that kill. The tank mage assassin Ornn 3-0 here, 16 minutes in.
And all of that said and done, going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Omega here.
No way they tower dive this top lane, right?
Okay. With your support,
Yeah,
I don't think that
Poodle was
would be
there for it.
advisable. Does not have an item on this Karma, or excuse me, on this Nami. Omega did send their bot lane to mid here, but it looks like BLM is going to have the first look over to the Rift Herald. They see 8,000 is in the bot side, which should mean that this is free. However, Neon Sword going to have to play careful here on the Tristana. They're just going to take the back. It's about as safe as you can be.
Silas coming up for a gank, though.
8,000 looking for this Karma. Is going to find it.
Oh, just the tip from the concrete ult going to hit. It's going to cost him a flash and an ult, but a kill nonetheless, which will give you this mid lane push. You might try to get the tower here unless you have an Annie that just clears the wave. 8,000 gonna flash forward, going
forward.
to CC Drakenrich. Gonna get CC'd back by I'm Stealthy, but you're not under the tower. Poodle is, and Poodle's gonna go down. Takes the Maokai ult, so gonna give that kill from the tower to the Maokai.
We take those.
Everybody just wanting to flash for some kills. Which I like to see.
Nothing better to flash for. We do have 2 completed items from Big News in the top lane to 1 to Alcoholic. So this Ornn going to be very difficult to kill here. Stacking triple armor items here on the Ornn, by the way.
I guess with the kills, he's just playing the side lane. Just stay away from Annie and you're chilling.
Do have Dragon starting here for BLM. Top turret will go down to Big News. And ping's coming out. Nightmare maybe no. I'm Stealthy. Okay. More pings coming in. I think this is going to be a 3-man dive onto Nightmare. Twisted Advance comes through. Tristana jumps in. But Nightmare with the flash. Able to survive. Annie with the flash. Tibbers, the stun comes in. 4 people here. Surely he won't live. On the other side, they see that. OG gonna go in, but does not find a kill onto Alcoholic. So it'll be just Nightmare going down. But it did take 4 people.
Yeah, I thought Nightmare was going to catch Drakenrich on vision early enough to be able to react. Just a little bit late there on the turning back to the tower. And maybe Drakenrich doesn't flash ult, but nonetheless, I mean, played it about as well as you could have with a 4-man dive, I guess, 3.5 maybe. Did what he could, just couldn't quite survive that one. The tower reset, I'm pretty sure, as that last tower shot didn't quite do too much damage. So 1 kill in favor of BLM there. It's going to cost them a mid lane tower. The top lane dive did not happen successfully for Omega, but at least they tried.
They did something. 8,000 getting very aggressive here. Twisted Advance coming through. Nami will have to flash. But Poodle gonna get out with their life.
8,000's not done.
Ooh.
He goes in, he has the Maokai ult, but he's going to get popped by the Tristana. And there's not enough follow-up. You're going to get the TP from the Ambessa, who's going to look for a potential flank angle here, but looks like it's going to be called off. I like the aggressiveness from 8,000, but your team was not quite close enough to help you.
Yeah, I don't think that they realized 4 members were there on the side of BLM. I think they thought it was only maybe 1 or 2, but it was 4, and 8,000 gonna go to the gray screen to find out. Do have a ping from I'm Stealthy here. However, he will be caught on vision, and the ultimate not quite available. It will be in the next 10 seconds, however. Ornn making himself some stuff up in this top lane.
Omega's up almost 2,500 gold, up 1 dragon, up 2 towers. The last couple of fights didn't really feel like it, as 8,000's on vision gonna hit the Atacon. I thought game 1 was gonna be a learning lesson, but maybe they're confident of knowing I'm Stealthy is on the top side. Just having to make that guess, I assume, and they're gonna back off of the Atacon.
Yeah, that kind of was the turning point of game 1. They were doing pretty well up until that point. Ooh, Tiny Fist of Fury forced to flash. 8,000 going in again. Concrete will miss the ult.
Concrete gonna spend an ult. Gonna get the flash out of I'm Stealthy and the ult. Of course, the Victor ult was used, but you also got Tiny Fist of Fury's Karma flash. So a decent amount of stuff used for a dragon setup, I guess. As Silas takes the Karma ult.
That is...
They have the
All
numbers here,
right.
but can they do enough damage as they get collapsed on by the rest of BLM? Silas just fishing is going to take down the Karma. The Ornn ult's going to come through. Drakenrich is going to get CC'd. Death going to get knocked up. Tibbers is going to come out, but not fast enough. 8,000 is going to go down. Alcoholic's going to go down. And do they chase down I'm Stealthy? Misses the knockup. Walked far enough away from the Ornn.
That is, however, a 3-for-1 in favor of Omega Gaming. 8,000 did go down for starting that fight, but able to take 3 people with him.
Yeah, and I think in these fights, if the side of Omega just plays a little bit closer to 8,000, because he's playing super aggressive, which it's, for the most part, he's catching out people. It's just how many people are waiting in the wing there, and do you have your team to follow up on? So if it's just a 1-for-1 catch out, I think 8,000 probably kills most people, excluding the tank. But as long as they can get that follow up from the team, I like the aggressiveness. As we see again, you're gonna chunk Tiny Fist of Fury to half health. You're gonna get the Maokai ult come out. You're gonna take down the Karma. You're gonna take down the Maokai. 8,000 going to get ulted by Tristana to safety.
It's going to be a triple kill for Nightmare there. And this game is going all Omega Gaming. Ooh.
Didn't hit Neon Sword. Gonna get the execute. I guess that's a small victory just to get the execute, but that's still a 42-second timer and a free Adacon for Omega, now up 5,000 gold.
Yeah, I mean, you say big news, no flash, right? And he still didn't get me. That's a win.
True. It's almost worth it. I don't.
Now, look at this build for this Ornn. He has 3 armor items and starting another armor item. Okay. It is going to actually be Jack Show, so it will be some MR. The components that he had bought though were armor at the beginning. I'm like, is this guy just not gonna respect this Annie at all? That's
I mean, I guess the
but
thought
he does.
is
He does.
he's not gonna get flash ulted by the Annie, and so I don't hate it. I mean, I think that's enough MR.
Yeah, 5-0, and up 2 levels on anyone on BLM. Ooh, Annie flash ult, but will be stunned.
CC'd for forever.
Ooh. Just cannot move. 8,000 doing what he has done all game, being very aggressive, walking right into them. Ooh, able to hit the ult right there. Nightmare, the beneficiary, once again, his 6th kill.
Yeah, nice stolen Ambessa ult there. And just to go back to the Annie death. Oh, hold that thought. Ornn's going to get blasted by the Tristana ult, but in the mid lane, going to overstay. That's the tower you just don't die for. Tiny Fist of Fury, you're going to get taken down. Big news, likely going to go down to Alcoholic here, just a matter of time. And a shutdown for Alcoholic.
Ooh. It is going to be 1,000 gold shutdown, but it looks like it's going to be a free Baron is the answer for Omega Gaming.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of an overstay by Big News in the bot lane, but you secure your team the Baron. I guess you take those.
Now, as the split pusher, he will not have Baron as he was dead when the take happened. So, you know, I guess that's a slight victory for BLM. They don't have to worry about Baron on the minions around Ornn.
Yeah, I mean, Victor has the crazy wave clear already in his Empowered E, so with the Baron buff for the Victor, I guess you still have kind of your somewhat split pusher. But yeah, obviously if you're Omega, you definitely want it on the Ornn. But if you have to die, and that's the only way you're going to get Baron, I think you take those, as we're going to get some vision clear here for the side of Omega. Dragon spawning in a minute 40.
Now Nightmare just backed right there on the Victor, ended by the Death Cap as his third item, so this Victor going to be very big here.
Bessa
Oh,
ult.
and Bessa going in. The Twisted Advance also going in. They're trying to catch the Silas, but 2 ults down and no one dies. And that is just a green light now for Omega. They don't have their engage tools. We can run right at them. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Whew. Karma. Down to almost full health there, and going to secure that mid tower using the stolen Maokai ult. I don't hate what BLM tried to do there. They know that 8000's been playing very aggressive, very in front of the team. Tried to pick him out with using 2 ults. Just couldn't quite CC him with the Mbessa ult. So gonna cost him their mid inhibitor, as Dragon's gonna spawn in 35 seconds, but they're going to target this top lane instead.
Yeah, they do have the Baron minions. They have all 5 of them. 8000 going in. The Ornn ultimate over the top. Nami Bubble is going to hit, and it's just CC on CC on CC, and a lot of gray screens going to come through for BLM. This could be game 2.
Yeah, we'll see how far they want to push here. They have a decent wave. They have the mid wave coming. They still have the Baron buff on 3 members. And you have the Annie can wave clear, but is it going to be enough?
The Mbessa going to dive the back line. Going to have to flash out, however. Annie with the ult.
Oh, the
There's
Nami save.
almost to go down. But there's just so many minions in this. Annie almost dead. Mbessa almost dead. There is a huge wave, and I think that this is going to be game 2 going to Omega Gaming.
We have a ball game. What was a close game probably for the first 15 minutes. Really took a turn, and Omega looks solid. Definitely over the last 12 to 15 minutes of that game. Wow. I mean, are we smelling a... I don't want to say an upset. Are we smelling a 5-gamer at least?
This is going to be a long series. I thought that coming into it. And definitely, Omega did have the upper hand in game 1, ended up losing, but didn't throw away their lead here in game 2. Once they took that lead, they just put the pedal to the metal here. 8000, so aggressive on that Sylas, made so many plays. I said I had to see a Sylas jungle to believe it, but I'm a believer now. That was a great game from 8000. And even though he ended 3-4-12, he was really the catalyst for everything that they did that game.
Yeah, I mean, that's I don't have the best memory in the world, but I'm pretty sure Sylas is what very much contributed to Kachow's game 1 win in the other series. So Sylas jungle making an impact here in Rivals League semifinals. This game, I don't think, it was still over 30 minutes, I guess, but it didn't feel super close after about the halfway point. Really liked the scaling mixed with the aggressiveness for Omega. If you had to choose a game MVP this one, who do you got?
Yeah, you had some big numbers come out, but I think the way that 8000 was able to get his team ahead and be so aggressive was the difference maker right there. So the stat line might not look the best at the end. He did give his kills over to his laners, but I think that was 8000's game.
Good. I definitely think Victor did a lot, but a lot of it was set up by 8000. Big news. I put right behind 8000 for my my game MVP. Big news really popped off. Some solo bolos up there on the tank Ornn. But yeah, I would agree. All of the team fight setup from 8,000 Silas really got them going in that mid game. Okay, we have a 1-1 semifinals. Some people were saying that this is the early, the real finals. I don't know if I'm gonna agree with that yet, but this one is making for a banger of a series.
Yeah. Definitely Omega Gaming showing they deserve to be here. Braum Lives Matter, undefeated in the regular season. They did 2-0 Omega last week of the regular season there. But Omega showing that they may have grown. They did make a roster change since then for playoffs, and last week they looked pretty good, and so far they're looking pretty good in this one. You got to feel good if you're on the side of Omega Gaming here.
Yeah, I mean, game one was definitely winnable for them. Obviously, BLM ended up winning that one. Looked very good for BLM at the end of game one, but Omega had some bright spots for sure, and in this game too. So, I don't know. We can't get ahead of ourselves. It's just 1-1, and BLM is the undefeated team. So, game three might be. I mean, I feel like if Omega hard wins this game three, Omega's gonna pull the series out because of the momentum. But if BLM plays their game, they're the number one seed overall for a reason. I think they just gotta, they gotta figure out what went wrong there. I mean, if you're coaching, if you're giving some insider to BLM, slipping them a note, are you saying to target ban someone? Are you saying to play earlier champs? Like, what are you giving if you were giving BLM any insider?
Yeah. Be better.
Oh, okay.
That's the advice. That's why I'm not a good coach.
Okay, you're hired.
Yes, I got the job. I mean, BLM they got to be a little bit more proactive in this early game. I think we saw 8,000 just gank mid on repeat. We said it early. Nightmare died. He walked back to lane. 30 seconds later, he died again. And that is, I mean, excuse me, not Nightmare. He got the kills. Drakenrich was the one who died twice right there. But yeah, you got to try to get Drakenrich ahead. We mentioned earlier one of the stronger players on this team. That's an undefeated team, and when he is just dying on repeat, that is not good for your team. And you got to try to, protect him. Maybe try to get him ahead early by having stealthy gank mid. On the side of Omega, I think it was, it was a pretty good game there. You got to feel good if you're them, even though you lost game one. I would personally attribute the BLM win more to the Omega throw as opposed to the BLM win. So if you're on the side of Omega, you kind of gonna be thinking, we played well enough to be up 2-0, and we just need 2 more games. But if we keep playing like we are, this series should be ours.
I agree with you, and we're actually going to see the starting top laner for BLM back in the lineup, back from doing whatever they were doing. And so I don't know. I have to check the rules on. So you just get the first phase.
I believe so.
But I don't know if because they're bringing in somebody. I'm actually going to pull it up. I don't remember if game 3 falls into that.
Okay.
So I'm going to blind everybody, but that's okay. You can let the peoples know what.
Yeah, so we have some bans coming out. BLM going to be targeting those jungle picks. Kane, Jarvan, Swain. The bans on the other side for Omega, it was going to be Cassiopeia, Nasus, and Darius, so more of a top lane focus. And OG taking the Wukong here with the first pick. Surely going jungle in the hands of 8000. Looked so good last game with the Silas. A more conventional look here on the Wukong. Braum Lives Matter taking their mascot here with the pick Braum and then Sejuani. So a lot of ice coming through here, a lot of slows, a lot of not being able to move, a lot of beef for Braum Lives Matter. Let's see what Omega's going to go. I would think they're going to take a support, probably the ADC. Those would be the most likely here. Rel being hovered. It will be selected here for Omega. So Rel into Braum.
Yeah, I'm always indifferent. I mean, it's kind of like a skill matchup. I get it. I mean, obviously Rel can break the shield, but it's just tough in lane. You can't really W in as Rel, at least not the crash down. You really you can't get out once you go in.
I like to be on the Braum side of that if I could choose my support. Kaisa coming through for Omega Gaming, one of the 3 champions that I'm allowed to play. In comp, my coaches don't let me play anything else.
Yeah, allowed
Spoiler,
to
I'm my
play
own
or
coach.
can play. Yeah.
Yep.
It is important
Speaking
to know.
of,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of champs I play, Ash might look pretty spicy right here. Ooh, the Lucian being hovered, also
Ash,
very good.
Braum. Yeah,
Rocking
Lucian, Braum,
that
a
Braum
staple.
passive.
Yeah, Lucian,
I mean,
Nami, Lucian, Braum, the typical 2 duos that you see. I do like the Ash with a Sejuani Braum, but you might just lack that damage, especially in the early game. Is important to note. So Omega Gaming gets 4 bans. So in Rivals Draft, Game 3, there's only 3 bans the first phase. But because BLM brought in a new player, they're starting top laner, but new to this series, we do give the other team an extra ban. And that's just so teams don't abuse the kind of subbing aspect of a fearless style draft, to where you bring in a sub kind of later in the draft where there's not as many bans, and then a new player gets their kind of one trick type thing. So that's why we opt to give the other team an extra ban. So I'll assume it's Deluxe. The Jinx, Smolder, and Yunara are just for funsies.
Azir gonna be the pick here for Braum Lives Matter. And Asol getting hovered here. Omega, a big fan of these scaling comps and champs, so Asol definitely fits that style. Is going to end up being locked. So Nightmare on the Asol. And just the top laner left to pick. Shen gonna be hovered here.
Looks good for their team comp.
Yeah, able to protect the Kaisa, protect the Asol. That's what it's going to be. Stand United, such a strong ability if you can use it correctly. And what will be the counter? Into a Shen, what's your thought? Do you like the just take a split push champ so when he leaves you take everything, or
Yep,
you go
something
with
like
him and
this.
beat him? Yeah, it
I
looks
like the
like it's
split
going to be
push.
the split push. When he leaves, you just take 2 towers and say, "All right, guys, you can't fight, but I'm going to take the entire top side."
Yeah, it does take a lot of team coordination with, hey, Shin's ulting and whatnot. Whether or not the 4 people can win the 4v4 before the Shin gets there, or if they need to back off. And out of all the teams, I would probably put BLM as the number 1 team that looks like they have that chemistry and coordination. So, yeah, I like the jungle pick. I like the ability to split push whenever Shin does leave lane. We'll see what summoners Shin opts to go, but I like the Shin paired with a Rel Wukong, and of course the Kaisa going into the backline, able to get that Shin ult. For the side of Braum Lives Matter, I mean, the Braum shield, there's not really, I mean, you can block the Asol Q. Other than that, there's not any crazy ability that you're gonna be blocking in these team fights. But Braum paired with Lucian Sejuani, I am a fan of. Um, I don't know, nameplates off. For me, I'm gonna rock OG. I'm a big Asol fan paired with Arel and Shin. Um, I'm gonna give it to Omega, at least with the nameplates off. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you. You know, gonna be a lot of pressure on this Lucian. Definitely falls off much harder than the Kaisa is going to be. So if they're unable to get a big lead here, I think Kaisa is just going to impact the game so much later. Azir scales, but you know, not as hard as Asol. So Omega with the Omega special, and it's just going to be a scaling comp and a ticking time bomb if Braum Lives Matter doesn't put them away early.
Yeah, I mean, I guess both sides have that CC. I mean, is it the main? I guess just win con for BLM is just a split push. It feels like, not to say they can't get ahead early. I mean, they have a Lucian with a bunch of CC paired with the Braum in the bot lane. The Azir, of course, you have that range, but Asol can also play super safe. Maybe you get some Sejuani ganks um, onto the Asol, but this one's going to be interesting. Of course, Omega picking another carry style jungler while BLM's going to opt to go more of the tank CC route. So, I mean, what do you think? Nameplate's on. We just saw, games 1 and 2. Are you thinking Omega has that momentum riding the underdog story here against this undefeated team, or you think BLM, they dropped their one game and they had their fun and now they're going to turn it on?
All right, so hear me out. Hear me out. I'm a big believer in a 5-man synergy, and they got their top laner back. They got their mojo back here. And they have not lost with Kama in the top lane. So we're going to go and say nameplate's on. I'm going BLM.
Okay. I think nameplate's on. I'm gonna rock Omega just because of how the last 2 games, of course, different top laner. Um, but I don't know. Maybe that momentum of being the underdog, kind of having that chip on your shoulder type thing, might be enough. But either way, regardless of who wins, I hope everyone has fun. No, I hope it's an exciting match. I don't care if they have fun or not. Winning is fun. So at least 5 of them will have fun this game.
That sounds probably true. But I have won games as an ADC where I definitely did not have fun.
In comp, win's a win.
Yeah, well, if I had a support that would peel for me, so maybe it would have been more fun.
Of course. I was gonna say, is it jungle's fault or support? Probably both of them. Definitely was not your fault.
Never is the ADC's fault. If there's anything that the viewers take away from this cast, that please take away that the ADC is always right. You should always peel for them, and it is never their fault.
You heard it from the man himself. All right, we're gonna load into this game, get through the spectator delay, and when we are back from break, we'll be on the Rift for Game 3. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the semifinals between Omega Gaming and Braum Lives Matter. It is a 1-1 series here going into Game 3, and it looks like for the first time there will not be a 5-point on one side. Do have 5 people in this brush, possibly waiting for someone to come try to drop a ward. Braum Lives Matter has set the trap, but Omega, at least thus far, not falling for it. Here comes Nightmare looking for a ward.
Will he do it?
Is he going to go in? No. So much to do about nothing. Got the caster all excited. And no real action there. Looking at the summoner spells here, right here, we do have Exhaust Ignite in the bot lane for BLM. On the other side, we have the Cleanse Exhaust. So definitely a little bit more aggressive for BLM. A little bit more defensive on the other side here for Omega.
Yeah, something to note. Poodle did take the spell book for the Rel. So, technically, Poodle has everything.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And
A big
then,
spellbook fan.
Uh, from a spectating standpoint, yeah.
Ooh, Crashdown coming in. They did hit 2. This Braum going to be forced to use Flash right here. Poodle pulling the trigger immediately at level 2. And it's going to work out pretty well for them. Braum, no Flash, and a huge chunk.
Yeah, nice aggressiveness from Poodle. Perfect timing. I don't know. Nothing frustrates me more than seeing a bot lane not anticipate their opponent hitting level 2. It's so like obvious, I guess, and so it is what it is. I'm not playing. I'm just watching. Hey, and in other news, a side note, as per the latest update, Kachow Esports is up 2-0 over the Patriots as we speak.
Is very surprising given the regular seasons, but Kachow did win their quarterfinal series. Both junglers now making their way towards the bot lane.
Typhus of Fury, no
Ooh,
flash.
down coming on. The Sejuani is here, but so is the Wukong. Sejuani forced the flash. Braum doesn't have it, and first blood is going to go over. Rel flashes on top of the Azir. Wukong flashes on the Azir. Azir will go down. Unfortunately, the kill goes to Poodle. Not the most ideal situation, but a kill is a kill.
True. A kill is a kill.
Sure, they will take that.
Yeah, so a nice collapse for the side of Omega. Gonna walk away with 2 kills. Sure, maybe you don't want one on the rail, but you got one on 8000, who was a big playmaker in game 2. So this Wukong gonna jump out with this 101 start. I'm stealthy. Going to go to the top side. Gonna get that top scuttle, and dragon spawns in 30 seconds.
Yeah, just to add a little insult to injury there, 8000 also did take the blue buff. But I don't know exactly what Big News was doing being so aggressive right there. Walked out, walked back in, and going to have to back now.
Yeah, I thought for a second Kama was going to flash for the kill, but I think Kama also would have died. I'm stealthy up top, ran into a double buff Wukong, who surprisingly is going to walk away. I guess was not confident in that what would have been a 1v2 at least for a little bit. So just going to back away on the Wukong. All right, Husky, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, right? It's just, we still got some games to go in both series. But I don't think anybody had on their bingo card a potential Kachow versus Omega Gaming finals.
Was there not? I mean, you're the one who gets the picks. Did anyone predict that? A single person?
I don't know. I'd check. I mean, people picked a bunch of different combinations. I just don't know if they picked both underdogs, which hasn't happened yet, but is a lot more likely than what people thought originally. So we'll have to see. A lot more gameplay to go either way. I do hope whoever wins this game wins the next one, so that I'm in bed before midnight, but no promises. Poodle gonna get a little aggressive, but tanky on this rail, especially after the crash down. Gonna be somewhat of an even trade. Wukong is going to start this dragon.
Maybe a little aggressive. They don't have mid prio here. The Sejuani is showing.
Kama taking some minion damage there.
All right, it does look like it's a 3v3 down here. Sejuani is going to go in. And Lucian's going to be the one that walks out with the kill here. I mean, the dragon, excuse me. Big news. Did ultimate to get into that fight and gets a kill for his time. So the
8,000.
dragon goes to the side of BLM, but 2 kills go the way of Omega.
Yeah, did 8,000 even smite the dragon? To even try to get it? I mean, had smite up after the dragon fell, so I don't know. Either way, I guess if you're Neon Sword, you're happy that you took that one despite losing 2 members. Now up 4-0 for the side of Omega.
Yeah, I don't think I saw the dragon get that low. I think it was smited around 800 by someone. But so early, smite's still going to be worth only 600. The bot lane from Omega does back.
Stealthy is top lane, is not 6, does not have the ult, but can CC big news nonetheless. Stealthy gonna take the kill from Kama, but I guess that's alright. A kill is a kill. Maybe Stealthy needed it. Already down 12 CS, but Kama in the
Yeah.
first game of this series looking very strong.
Yeah, making a big difference right here, and it might be a trap, and it is. The double collapse. And they're just going to keep going to the Void Grubs here. Stealthy does kill Nightmare. Shen with the 2-man taunt. Sejuani going to get killed by 8,000. And now Kama is the one who is caught. Concrete comes in with the Kaisa. One more for the auto proc. It's still not going to be enough. No items. And meanwhile, Neon Sword just saying, thank you for the plate, guys. I'll take 2.
Yeah, I like Neon Sword opting to push the wave and getting the plates. It just seems like wasn't relayed to the team of, hey, you just gotta give those. It's a tough one if you're BLM. You lose a lot of members. You're down 2-7 already. You're gonna lose the grubs, but a nice ult from the Azir. Not quite enough damage for this tanky rail.
Ooh. Yeah, Kaisa still just components right now. Surely if there was even a single item for Concrete, would have found the kill a couple different times here.
Okay, scaling.
Yeah, still a 2,000 gold lead on the side of Omega.
Seems like BLM's win con, I mean, we said it before the game, was really going to be this Trundle split push, but a lot of fighting here is I'm Stealthy gonna get caught by the Wukong, gonna get ulted by the Wukong, ulted by the rail, and going to get taken down. Kama almost went down, but it's gonna get that ult off. Gets the flash from the Shin.
Like you said, it's just every position seemingly is going the way of Omega except this top lane. Kama's doing very well into big news, but I don't know if it's enough if the other 4 team members of your team are behind, which currently they are.
I mean, we have, I guess both teams have some scaling members, but I feel like the late game favors Omega.
Yeah, this Asol, this Kaisa, at least in a team fight setting, both going to be so strong. I don't know that they have a single member that can 100% match the Trundle. And it looks like
2 fights are
they
gonna happen at
could
the
be
same
going
time.
for a dive.
The big ult comes out from the Asol. The Braum ult's gonna come down. The shield's going to block the ult from Narnia. Not quite
Said
enough.
there might be a dive top, but Sejuani didn't go, instead electing to farm camps, but will be there now?
Sejuani does have the ult up now. Going to hit, and it should be a free kill. Unless Sejuani walks away before. Interesting. Interesting choices by BLM there. Yeah, I definitely don't think Trundle had to die there. But
Yeah,
one
big
for one.
news gets the kill, and all 3 kills for the game right now on the Sejuani. That's not the most ideal person to have them.
Yeah, that's I guess that one kill that Sejuani took from Trundle earlier, definitely not looking great, but that's just one kill. Not the reason that they are down so far right now. Still early, still only 13 minutes in.
Yeah, if you have to feel good right now. The solution, such an early game champ, should stomp lane, but 0-0 and 0. Not making an impact thus far. Hasn't really been involved in any fights, however. He's just kind of stayed bot. Speaking about fighting, Kama again. Jumping on this Shen. The ult coming out. And we'll just run big news down.
Yeah, I was thinking we were getting close to that point to where Trundle could, just take a couple tower shots. Who cares? Not gonna get the demolish proc off.
Okay.
Gonna get the Wukong ult to come
That's-
out. Kama gonna flash into
That'll-
stealthy, but not close enough.
And you have to think that the Wukong might win this fight. Especially with this Shen ult coming down. It will land the taunt. And 8,000. 6-0 and 5. Looks so well last game on the Sylas, and doing it all over again on the Wukong.
Yeah, and on top of that, we had a solo bolo kill for the ASOL onto the Azir.
Not looking very good for BLM at the moment. We said we thought that Omega scales harder, and yet they have a 9-kill lead here at 14.5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I like how they're making their team comps. Last game in this game, they have the scaling ability for their teams, but they also have a carry-style jungler. And definitely helping them through this early game as we go into the mid-game, almost to that 15-minute mark. We have the Rift Herald spawning soon with full prio for the side of Omega.
We do have a 4v3 here. Omega has more team members. They have the lead in gold. They have the first kill. Braum will flash away. Killer Instinct from the Kaisa coming through. Gets the second kill. Concrete on a killing spree. And it is 15-4.
Oof.
Now, Drachenrich did get the bot tier 1 while that was happening.
I mean,
And
yeah,
this Trundle just pounding away at the Shen.
yeah, I mean, get gold where you can. It feels like the mid lane grouped up team fights are definitely going to favor Omega here. If your Braum lives matter, you're just trying to pull members from OG away from Kama, just to try to make it that 1v1 as much as possible. Kama's gonna get the tower, going to get the ult
will
off onto big
ult.
news.
The Wukong is here. Can the Wukong save his team member? He can. 8,000 godlike. Braum now here all alone. Not going to be a lot of damage there. Big news with the kill. And we are now 17-4 at 16 minutes. And this Wukong, 7-0-8. A 15 kill participation in 16 minutes is outrageous.
I don't even know how. What's the win con now for BLM? I mean, obviously you hope that OG gets a little too aggressive, gets picked out, makes some mistakes. I mean, you do have the Azir split push, you have the Trundle split push, so you have the ability to kind of a 1-3-1 pressure, but in a nice
Shurima
little
Shuffle is going to come out, but it doesn't matter. Nightmare wins the 1v2.
Yeah, just not strong enough.
Trundle here in the mid lane, trying to get the shutdown on this Wukong.
And the tower didn't go down. The Shinnle is going to come through.
Ooh, Wukong able to stay alive here. But the Sejuani not with the team. A-Soul going in. Braum able to jump to the Sejuani and stay alive. And since they're right there, they are going to be starting this dragon. They're down 14 kills. Can they even start the dragon? The Shen goes behind. They do have vision. They back off dragon. I think that's a good decision here. Sejuani ult comes out onto the A-Soul, but the crash down hits 2. Kaisa free firing here. Concrete with the kill. Double kill onto the Kaisa. Another crash down. A triple kill to the Kaisa. Killer Instinct. He is going to get the 4. But Lucian says, no, 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 no. You don't get the penta. I'm running away like a sissy, and I am going to back.
Hey, Lucian's having a perfect game, so you should think about that.
Yeah, Lucian hasn't died. Lucian hasn't died.
I mean, yeah, Lucian. I mean, there's nothing really Lucian can do in, I'd say, almost any of these team fights at this point. Lucian, the champion, is tough to go into a very strong A-Soul, a Wukong that's going for the backline, and a Rel that's going for the backline. They can
Jen
maybe
could be caught here. He is CC'd. They say, you know what? We're just going to leave you. If you can get out, good. If not, well, that's your
Concrete's
problem.
Gonna stop their back.
Surely he
Just
can
take
get
it.
out.
Just take it.
Oh. Man, the Braum gets the kill.
Yeah, it's not Braum's fault. Braum had to take it, but it is.
He had to take it.
Only
He
the
did.
2 tanks have all the kills.
Oh. This Trundle has 1. This Trundle has 1. He does have 5 deaths, though.
Sorry. It's half a tank.
And 17 kill participation for 8,000 in 19 minutes. I believe that's good. Speaking of 8,000, gonna jump in. Hits the ultimate. Here comes the second. A-Soul ult over the top, and they just fall. Shurima Shuffle is just gonna keep him alive for a second. It doesn't matter. 8,000 with another kill. The Trundle pushing top, but about to get collapsed on. Let's see if our cameraman goes up there. Surely he's going to die. But can he take this A-Soul with him?
Nightmare
He
got a
can.
little
He gets
too
the
close.
shutdown. I may have spoken too soon. Kama could win the 2v1 here. Instead, he will back out. Ping's coming towards the Otacon. 24 kills to 6, but only a 4,000 gold lead at the moment. That's not as much as you would think given how many kills have gone the way of Omega.
This is, at least on paper, the numbers at least, one of the more lopsided games I feel like we've had all split. Definitely in the playoffs, but I don't know. I mean, it's only 3.5k gold, which you could say isn't the most in the world, but I don't know. I mean, you still have you didn't lose an inhib, which I think is huge. No objective currently up, and you still have a split pushing Trundle.
No,
As
this
we have a top
Sejuani
lane
is
fight.
just dead. Surely. Just free firing concrete with another double kill. 9-0 and 6 on this Kaisa. And that is assuredly going to be Otacon. They will get the mid-tier 2, however. Nightmare gonna have to be careful. Does hit the ult. And will kill Kama.
Interesting choices were made. Neon Sword is here. Does have the exhaust. Is going to get cleansed. But with the flash, the Shindo, it's going to come through. Neon Sword, can he get Concrete? Is going to get Concrete, but is going to get taken down by Big News. And the Atacon goes over to Omega Gaming. I mean, a nice little cheese, but you are going to see the first Lucian death of the game. Tiny Fist of Fury might get caught on. Nope. Can Big News
They
get
do
out? Has
see
the
the
TP,
Azir.
but not going to use it.
The shuffle is available, and it's used. That's going to be a flash now, and you just don't move. That's the Braum passive. That is the Sejuani ult. That is...
Braum.
No! Braum again has to take it. Can a carry finish a kill? The answer is no.
If they're just letting them walk away, they're just thinking that someone's going to die. Sejuani's going to go back in, but it might be to their death. Braum still has a little bit of health, but opting not to help. I think stealthy, if you can get out, you just try to get out, but you're going to get exhausted. You're going to get CC'd by the Rel. Asol's going to go in. Rel's going to ult,
kill.
crash down. Asol's going to chase
That's
down
another
Jack and
kill
Rich.
for Asol too. And surely...
Fade away.
I'm Stealthy has nothing here. Concrete spoils the triple and steals it for himself.
And if you're the side of BLM, Trundle, Omega's letting Trundle split push so much, but the other 4 members for Braum Lives Matter is just taking fights, allowing Omega to get kills and then base. I don't know. I mean, I know they're way far behind, but if you're BLM and you just play the other 4 members safer and stop getting picked so easily, I think Trundle could really do some damage here, but that's not the case, and Omega is capitalizing on all the kills that they are basically being handed.
At this point in the game, is the only win con a Trundle split push.
Yep.
You are so far behind. I don't think you can win a single team fight.
I mean, you could get a pick, obviously, I guess, because you have a lot of CC, but if Omega just stays together, as they're going to collapse here on Stealthy for the 10th death of the game right before that 24-minute mark. And Omega's going to go in and collapse on the 2 members. We're going to get the Braum ult come down. We're going to get the Rel. Shurima shuffle.
Nightmare, you can't be there, but it doesn't matter. Your team is so far ahead.
If Trundle dies, it might just be...
This might be game.
It might just be the game.
It's only a 13 seconds, but surely Concrete going to take this so quickly. The 3-item Kaisa. Shredding turrets.
And we have...
In 24 minutes, it will be Omega Esport.
Gaming. Close. Omega go up 2-1 over the undefeated Braum Lives Matter team. A 47 kill game, sub 25 minutes. I don't think you see that too often.
And the team that we said was the scaling team is the one with all the kills. Wow. I mean, 24 minutes, 27 kill participation for 8,000. And might I add, 0 deaths. That is probably the most dominant game we have seen in a playoff game at Rivals in 2+ seasons here.
Yeah, I mean, do we even need to discuss who the game MVP is? I mean, it's got to be 8,000 again, right?
This guy
Not to say the rest of the team didn't
running
also
away with
play
it.
well, but
Yeah, that
8,000
is
8,000 setting up the team.
8,000 back-to-back games. Just said, get on my back, and willing his team to try to make finals here.
Whew. Now the pressure is on for the undefeated Braum Lives Matter team. Everyone, pretty much all split, had Braum Lives Matter going to the finals, and it's still in their hands. They just have to figure something out, because after about the 15-minute mark of Game 2, it has been all Omega Gaming. Oh, I don't know. Is this one ending in 4, or are we going 5? What are you thinking?
I thought that bringing your top laner back could make a difference, and I mean, Kama had a pretty good game. He was really the only bright spot in that game 3 for Braum Lives Matter, but I mean, a dim bright light at that. The rest of his team completely steamrolled, and I don't know what you do here. You're taking a comp that should win early and losing early. So, yeah, it's going to be tough after that, but you know, they were undefeated for a reason. So you got to believe in the process and try to come back here, but it's not looking good. If I had to put my money on someone, I think Omega's going to the finals after that game.
Okay, okay. Obviously, big topic of the split has been Braum Lives Matter undefeated. Undefeated in matches, in series, but they have dropped games. Was it 2? 1 or 2? I don't remember. But they've at least faced 1 or 2 elimination, series losing games, and so they're undefeated in those. And so, backs against the wall, they seem to always pull it out. Can they do it again? Is the question. With this being game 4, there are no new bans in either round. So no bans at all. All of the previous champs are off the board.
Yeah.
As we get ready
I mean,
for this draft, I think BLM is taking. Yeah, BLM's going to opt to go red side. Going to take that counter pick. Like you said, I mean, they're kind of the only bright-ish star is the top side for BLM after that game. Just didn't really give Kama a chance to even split push.
yeah, like you said, it was just every single time Kama was getting on the split push, you turn around and his team's getting 4-0'd somewhere else on the map. So in the end, it didn't really matter.
All right, as we get this draft set up, update, the other series is still in their third game. Kachawi Sports up 2-0 over the reigning champion Patriots. So, as we kind of mentioned, we'll get to see if we have a finals matchup of 2 underdog teams. That would be an interesting one. Nonetheless, at least odds are at least one underdog team is going to go to the finals. If you're betting, probably, as both of the underdog teams have 2 wins as of right now. So we'll have to see as we get this game 4 draft set up. If you're BLM, are you looking for a different type of comp? Is it just they just need to be more passive and let the game kind of come to them, or what's the game plan here for BLM other than just play better?
Yeah, I mean they had the comp that should work early and it didn't, which is the scary part. You say maybe play passive, and if you don't have the scaling comp though, you got to make the plays happen. So if the plan is to play passive, which might be a good idea since they've lost early the last 2 games pretty hard, then you got to draft around that and pick some champions that can carry late should you get it there. So maybe that's what you do. You go scaling. You try to outscale Omega. A lot of champions off the board here, so might be a little difficult to put a cohesive team together with one style, but both teams certainly going to try.
Yeah, as the bans that were shown for a second, of course there are no actual bans, so that's just getting us through the draft. And Omega Gaming going to first pick the Ziggs. I assume that's flexible between the mid and AP carry position. And it looks like... Do you recognize that champ?
Okay. I've never seen that champion before. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure that's that poster behind you on the wall. Looks like Misfortune to me.
It's actually My Hero Academia, which
Oh.
is my favorite anime. But
Pretty close.
But if I could find a misfortune one, or anyone wants to
Yeah.
see one,
Mhm.
I won't say no. I won't say no.
Who gets paired with the misfortune? Zach Flex, I assume. Probably top jungle flex. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Support. Granted, Ziggs is pretty mobile.
Ziggs Leona, a pretty good pairing. Hard to miss skill shots when they can't move. I've done it before, so it is possible.
I personally am a blind Leona pick hater. Granted, Rel and Braum and Maokai are all off the board, so there's some good picks into the Leona. So we're going to see the Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao really, a contested pick in a lot of our series that we've seen, despite, I think, got a little bit of a nerf this last patch, but nothing too crazy. So we're going to see the Xin Zhao jungle. I assume if you're picking, jungle for Omega, you're just opting to assume that it's going to be Zac jungle for BLM. But of course, can still be flex. So we'll see what they answer into the Leona, I assume, here.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I was gonna say I don't like the Rakan. I like picking Leona into Rakan, but Sona's fine. I mean, you get the double ults, like the combo. The Wombo combo you have right now for BLM is pretty good.
You gotta get to 6 before you have that Sona Misfortune combo, though. Misfortune doesn't need ult. She can do quite a lot of damage with her love tap.
Yeah, I just with the
double,
Sona, I like to see, I guess, a top laner that wants to go in and fight. I like obviously a mid assassin. Like I guess if you're in solo queue, I like the mid assassin paired with a Sona, but really, I like a top lane carry champ paired with a Sona. So we're gonna go for the full Wombo combo for BLM.
So what is the go-in champ up top that we're thinking here?
For Omega, or are we thinking for BLM, assuming that's Zac jungle?
For assuming that's Zac jungle.
I think you go split push. I think you go leave your top laner on an island. Obviously you're gonna get to see what big news is gonna pick top lane, and you can kind of go from there. Whether or not you want to do someone for the team fight, as we're gonna see Xayah 80 carry locked in. So I like the flex ability for Ziggs. You're gonna send the Ziggs mid. You're gonna send Xayah, which is a super safe 80 carry down bot. So a good pick there. And Sion potentially matching the split push.
The hover. I like to hit them with the Teemo hover personally. I mean, but
why not just a Teemo pick?
I don't think so.
Hey,
Sion is going to be the pick.
Sion's a good pick if you're thinking BLM, like one of their win con is the top lane split push. So trying to kind of neutralize that. BLM's team fight right now looks super nasty.
Yeah, they do have a good team fight comp. Are they going to split push? Or are they going to team fight?
Scale.
To be Kale. Okay, there's your late game win con, right? Maybe? Question mark?
Yeah. I haven't seen Kill in a hot minute, so that's
I
interesting.
guess here's my problem. Zac goes in. He has the ball on him. That's great, but no one else can really go in with him. And if he goes too far, he just dies. I mean,
Junglers
obviously
don't do
you
that.
play around that one, but
Junglers don't go too far.
That's a good point. I forgot to think about that.
All right.
All
right. Nameplates off. Who we thinking?
Ooh, nameplates off. I go Misfortune every single time, but I think Omega is just doing very well right now. So Nameplate's on. I got Omega.
I'm thinking. Nameplate's on or off. I'm gonna rock with Omega. Their comp is just easier to execute, I think. Uh, Obviously, at some point, Kale's gonna be a complete menace, but I mean, they didn't even get it. Even if they had a hard skiller like Kale, I mean, they didn't even get close to getting to that point in that game 3. So I don't know. I mean, hey, they're undefeated for a reason. They've won all of their elimination games, so or their series-ending games, I guess. We'll see if they can execute this wombo combo team fight that they got going on. I do think if Braum Lives Matter pull out this game 4 win, that they win game 5.
Okay.
The
I like
flip
it.
of the switch and the fact that they're the number 1 seed overall. If they can pull this one out, I think they win it all. But if I was betting, I'd have to go Omega. I mean, after that game 3, I don't see how you couldn't pick Omega there. The question is BLM a team that dwells on what happened last game? Or are they able to say, all right, reset, take a break for a quick second. Game 3 never happened, and we're back to the Rift for game 4.
We will see what happens in this game 4.
Any you looking, lane to lane or roll to roll across the board? Is there one you think, whether it's just based on the champs that you want to see, or I guess I don't know what's your take if you're looking across the board and how the early game's going to go at least.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we have seen that the early game jungling has been the difference maker for these teams. Game 1, we saw I'm Stealthy put in a pretty good jungling performance and get his team the lead. They were able to capitalize with that. But games 2 and 3, on the other side, we've seen 8,000 just put on a clinic in the jungle. He takes the Xin Zhao, an early ganking champion that can definitely, get his team ahead. And I think that's what we have to keep the eye on. 8,000 on the Xin Zhao. If he can do what he did the last 2 games, the series is over. But if they're able to thwart him and his ability to get ahead, it might extend it to game 5.
So you have, of course, the ganking power from the Zac. I mean, Xin Zhao is strong early. Is the Xin Zhao going to camp the Kale? That could be something to watch out for if you're BLM. If you're BLM, kind of your pushing lane early is that bot lane. I guess I wouldn't even say pushing lane, but the lane you have the better chance to push early with. So should BLM play for early dragons? I'd probably say so. The question is, will they win the 4v4 early? I bet we will see. I'm interested to see what 8,000 is going to do on the Xin Zhao, as at least 2 of the games has very much been the playmaker in Omega's 2 wins. So a lot of eyes on 8,000 on whether or not he can go 3 games back to back to back on getting this team through the early game. We will have to see as we are going through Riot League draft. We won't make you sit here and listen to us anymore. We'll throw it to a quick break, and when we're back, we'll be on Game 4, Omega up 2-1 against Braum Live.
Welcome back to Game 4. We have Omega versus Braum Lives Matter. OG versus BLM. Right now, BLM was the number 1 seed, undefeated in the regular season. They are down 2 games to 1. Their season is on the line in this game. The Misfortune gets a little bit of damage right there.
Yeah, Misfortune taking the cleanse this game, I guess. Oh, as 8,000's going to Invade, gonna run into Jack and Rich. Get him almost to half health. Has enough time to base and walk the lane, but Ziggs might stop.
Ooh, Ziggs is gonna stop it. That is going to be an issue.
Oh, no.
Drakenrich now going to be late
Yep,
getting to
choices.
lane.
Gonna TP or gonna walk?
5-head play by Nightmare, guessing that he was going to be in that bush. The TP is going to have to be used by Drakenrich.
It most likely won't be the end of the world. We'll just have to see on when Oriana opts to back. But we'll see. It is I think Zach was spotted out on Vision, so Omega Gaming going to be able to track I'm stealthy here.
Good poke here by the Ziggs. They're going to take a lot of minion aggro there. Nice ricochet from the Misfortune. Now, not my favorite Misfortune skin, for those of you wondering. There's about 23 of them available. I have all of them, and this is probably one of the worst 5.
Isn't this the one that you cosplayed as last year?
We don't talk about that.
Oh.
Both junglers pathing top to bot here. Finishing their 3rd camp soon.
Both
All
mid
right.
laners getting low, but we have both junglers, I guess, hovering.
Both jungles being close here. 8,000 will be on Vision. Flashes in. The Zac right behind pulls them in. Flash down from Ziggs. Ooh,
Ooh,
the
nice.
satchel is going to save Mr. 8,000.
Ooh.
But they know he's low. So Zac, knowing he's low, going to invade. Sona has roamed up. Tiny Fist of Fury here.
Yeah, Sona with the heals should be big chilling here. I don't know if cameraman's gonna let us see it. It is 8,000 is going to level up, but stealthy. A flash by Poodle gonna go in, and this 8,000 gonna get taken down. First blood for the
So
Sona.
And now Sona going for the double.
Sona's got place to be.
Leona goes in. Concrete, however, gets the kill, getting the double kill.
I feel like I feel like we've seen it so many times of Concrete's roaming over and Neon Sword is opting to stay in lane. And that's fine if that's being communicated from BLM of you don't need to take a fight, you don't need to flash forward if you're Sona to maybe get a kill as you're getting collapsed on. That's just tough. I mean, you have a little bit of a CS lead, I guess, now for Neon Sword, but just doesn't seem like the team overall is on the same page. I like the fact that they were aggressive because you do have the Zac passive, so that first blood does go to BLM, but I don't know.
No extra gold for first blood anymore, and caught on Vision. Tiny Fist of Fury, you can't even go in your own jungle. What is going on here? 8,000 being aggressive once again. 2 assists at 4 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of early roaming for a Sona. I did like the initial roam to heal up your jungler, but Drakenrich gonna get caught here. No flash, no way to get away from 8,000. Zinzao and Ziggs is gonna take that kill, and once again, at the 5-minute mark, we have a bunch of kills for Omega.
Yeah. 3 assists on 8,000 in 5 minutes. This guy is a ganking machine. It is a 1k gold lead. Up here in the top lane, it looks like Scion with the 10 CS advantage.
See the Dark Seal come out for this Zac. We see it every now and then. Just maybe interesting. I'm also a Dark Seal hater, so who knows.
I mean, it's good in some ways. I don't know that the one person that can dive in is necessarily the best person for that.
But did rack up the kills last game, so, you know. Maybe not the worst thing. Concrete,
true.
Zaya, 3-0 already. 200 goal shutdown. Oof.
And this Kale's gonna have a rough time for the early part of this game, trying to stop the Scion.
I mean, you just gotta make it to what, like 12 minutes, and then you're big chillin'.
Okay.
A good poke coming out from Nightmare. Ziggs going to ult. At least get the outer ring onto the Zac, but with the Zac, blobs should be able to take the red buff unless Scion has something to say about it.
Stealthy definitely going in. Ooh, Zac is able to get out of the way.
You have the ult for the Misfortune, but Tiny Piece of Fury not very close to having that ult for the double wombo combo there in the bot lane, so it should be a free dragon. Yes, it will for Omega.
Kale did get a couple waves up top. Did also get a plate. That is your scaling champ here.
I mean, has a little bit of damage, but not quite there yet. Especially
Quite,
getting that
but
close to the tower and the Scion passive, but
when you have lethal tempo, you like to keep attacking.
already level 7, so you're getting there. As we have another objective getting started for Omega. 8,000. I mean, making a very good case for series MVP if they win this series, of course.
Leona comes up here to help out, which does leave your 3-kill Zaya all alone down here in the bot lane.
Yeah, I guess if you don't know, and just now you're going to see the Leona mid. Nonetheless, going to opt to base unless you get stopped here. Whew, cutting it close there on the Sona. Did have the flash available, but don't want to waste it.
Zac will come in here. Leona is here. The Zac is going to ult. And Ziggs just, if you don't kill him, it's hard to get away.
I mean, Zac opts to use ult. I mean, I like the initial engage, but I don't feel like the ult, even with the Orianna ult, I mean, it wasn't going to pop anybody, especially if you're going to target the Leona. So I'm going to save that ult. Kama's going to walk into 8,000. Scion ult's going to come through. Kama is going to ult, still has a flash, is going to use that flash. Zac is now here. 8,000 might tower dive, is going to tower dive. Oh, it's going to go down. I did not think that last tower shot was going to kill him, but it does. So kill goes over to I'm Stealthy. 2 stacks on the Dark Seal.
It's working out already. We see 8,000 again with a gank and making a play. That has just been something on repeat this entire series.
We have Dragon in 2 minutes. We have the
Ooh,
Orianna
ult
ult
is
come
coming
through.
out. It's going to have to flash away for Nightmare, but does it keep his life?
Yeah, nice use of flash there. It will not be up, of course, for this dragon fight. We have a bot lane TP and a gank coming in from this Zac. Zac is going to go in. The ult from Zaya is going to come out. The pullback, not yet. That will CC 2 members. Poodle should go down here. Can Zaya get another kill? No. So some nice flashes from the bot side of OG, but it is going to cost them that 1 life, and the kill is going to go over to Misfortune. So exactly where you want it to go.
Goes where you want, but you leave your poor Kale on an island here, and just no chance there.
Yeah, and I guess maybe you're assuming that Xin Zhao's going to be bot side because Dragon's in a minute, but that's still a lot of time, and you know you're making a play bot side. Of course, their jungler, who's been proactive all series, is going to make a cross-map play. Stealthy going to try to get a gank off on a Nightmare. Not going to happen. And yeah, I like what OG's doing. We've seen this in other series of you just pick on the kill, especially with no flash, no ult. The kill ult is going to be up now, but Xin wasting a lot of time topside waiting for this cheese
Oh.
gank.
They're definitely making sure that this tower does fall.
The ult's going to come through, but it's not going to be enough.
That is the kill, and pings will come out to the dragon, however, knowing that Xin Zhao is on the top side of the map. And it should be a free dragon, but this could be a tier 2. Xin Zhao still here, waiting for Kale to come back a 3rd time.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Omega, you don't need this dragon. You don't need to go fight bot side. I mean, it's going to take a long time before this kill can really match this Scion. And the Scion's going to take at least half of this tower. And we're going to go for another dive. No flash, no ult, comma. You just got to sit at your base. You know, I guess you don't know Xin Zhao's there, but you know Xin Zhao's not at the dragon. There's no other objective to take.
Is just mean. This Xin Zhao. 8,000 says, comma, you cannot play the game. 3 straight deaths in about a minute and a half.
That's tough. I don't know, man. I hate a hard scaling top laner with a tank jungler. Because I mean, even if Zac goes up there, I mean, maybe you stop a tower dive, but the 2v2 fight, you're still going to lose. If you have a mid lane fight here, the Orianna ult's going to hit. Should be enough to take down Nightmare. It's going to be a shutdown. Going to Drakenrich.
Okay. Good play there by Drakenrich. Kills are in favor of Omega, but only about a 3,000 gold lead. This Kale looks trapped.
Almost flash. Just sidesteps it. Flash is about to come up, but it might not be fast enough.
Kama goes down again. I'm stealthy. Will engage in the ult from Misfortune coming through. 8,000 will go down. Zac passive about to pop. Can his team protect him?
I think Zac, yeah.
Hey, they can't. Ooh. And just like that, Nightmare will take out Drakenrich, will take out Tiny Fist of Fury. Neon Sword, the only one still alive, gonna have to give the tier 1. Misfortune cannot hold it by herself.
Yeah, and that initial turn from Braum Lives Matter, I mean, they looked really strong. I mean, the wombo combo for what they had remaining, obviously the Kale had already fallen, almost had flash, almost had ult. But you see a glimpse of what could happen if BLM has a front to back with all their ults up. If they can play for those just perfectly set up team fights, they should be fine as long as this game doesn't get too much further out of hand. I mean, down almost 5,000 gold already here, 16 minutes in.
Now, I don't know very much about Misfortune, but this build is looking kind of questionable to me. As we have action on the top side here.
Big News gonna flash away. He is gonna make it to his team, I believe. The Oriana ult is up, but no members for BLM really there to intercept that Scion.
Scion gonna get out. That's gonna be ult coming in. The Leona ult. We'll just hold them back. But yeah, as I was saying, we have a press the attack Misfortune, which usually would mean that they're going that Bloodthirster Essence Reaver build. However, it looks like the lethality build here is instead what's coming out. Usually when you have lethality, you're gonna try to do First Strike. Scion. He does have ultimate available if he needs it.
I'm about to say, please don't sell
But
ult there.
able to just walk out instead. Did draw 3 team members. Omega probably doesn't know that there's that many people there, but certainly know that it's more than one, as they are pinging for Big News to stay back.
Yeah, Dragon is
And
up,
speak about abusing someone, comma,
ooh, going to
is
go.
going to fall again. 0-6-1 on this Kale. Big engage there. So far, not a lot. Zach taking a lot of damage, does not have passive. Flashes, Concrete still able to get the kill. Here comes Big News on the side going for Misfortune. Gets the kill. Will he get out with his life? Yes, and he
Oh.
takes down Sona as well. He must have been watching some Pandorum video.
True. That's just a bunch of series of unfortunate events there. A nice Scion ult to finish off that team fight. CC'd Neon Sword for a good solid 3 seconds there. Yeah, I mean, I like the Zac engages. It's with the Xayah ult, Concrete ulting fast and early, able to survive the initial burst. I mean, all 3 ults from the side of BLM hit. I mean, Misfortune ult, Sun ult, Zac ult, and just still not strong enough quite yet to take anybody down. I mean, we're almost, we're under 20 minutes and we're pushing a 10k gold lead. What's the win con here for BLM?
Oh, man. Survive long enough for Kale to matter? I'm Stealthy goes in, I'm Stealthy dies. That is what has happened a couple fights in a row.
I'm Stealthy goes in as the rest of the team watches. I mean, I don't know. There's no... I guess you did have ults up. It's tough. Tough trying to make some plays with an engaged tank, jungler, or support, I guess.
No,
Whenever
if
you
you
don't
don't
have
have
the damage to
anyone to
follow.
go in.
Yeah, or to go in with you, yeah.
The Kale doesn't do anything. The Sona can keep you alive a little bit longer. But a 1-item Misfortune and a 1-item Oriana, not really putting down the damage you need.
You just want to clear waves and survive as much as you can, but...
It will... Alright, Kama survives. Did have
Nice
to ult, but still survives.
Oh, nice. Ziggs bomb gonna stick.
Ooh.
I'm Stealthy. Misfortune ult going to come through, but going to get CC'd. Zac passive's going to proc, but no one can follow. No one can save the Zac. And we missed the Kale dying in the top lane.
Again, Big News did use the ult, so probably not getting out with his life here. But maybe he can take someone with him. Oh my god.
No one's strong enough. There we go. There's the Oriana ult. It does have the flash, but I don't think
This is insane.
the flash
He
forward to
is
try to get the
not.
kill on Neon Sword. Neon Sword's gonna have to flash. Zac passive will surely take a little bit of this inhib. Oh, whoa, whoa.
And meanwhile, that's a free Otacon. As it took a flash, 2 ults, and 3 people to stop that Scion in the top lane.
I'm curious to see if Scion's gonna opt to go top or bot here. I think you just go top for the inhib, especially with Dragon coming up in a minute and a half. But we'll see. I mean, hey, we're at 22 minutes. You just 10 more minutes if you're BLM, and you'll be getting close.
0-7 on this kill. We mentioned it was going to be a tough matchup. And Nightmare is unstoppable. Gets the double kill. Great engage by 8,000. I feel like we've been saying that for the last 3 hours.
Yeah.
Scion coming somewhere.
Scion.
I hear it. I hear it. Will he find them? He does find them. 8,000 jumps in Tiny
this
Fist
is
of
gonna
Fury.
be a game.
Dead.
There's no minions yet. You get the top inhib.
Nightmare kills Kama. Only
You have the grubs, you
Orianna
have a
is
Ziggs.
left. And she is not alive for much longer.
There are no minions, but you're just gonna tank it. You have the Scion. You have the Scion. Passive is big news. It's gonna hit him with a GG. Good season.
It is a misfortune with the shutdown, but immediately dies herself. Now it is up to the Sona. The Ziggs just hitting. Ziggs all comes down, and that is it. The upset comes through. Omega Gaming wins in 23 minutes. We thought last one was not close. A 23-minute game to close this out is one of the fastest
Yeah,
games we've seen in the playoffs in quite a while.
I mean, it's got to be the fastest of Rivals League between either split. That one's a head scratcher. I mean, I don't know. If you had to say just initial thought, did BLM play super poorly, or did OG just play their lights out? I assume kind of a mix of both, but
I think that, outside game 1, that Omega just played lights out here. They were proactive. They were making plays all around the map. I don't know that necessarily there was anything done specifically wrong on the side of BLM. It was just, they just reacted to everything. They didn't make plays themselves, and 8,000 just ran the series. Undoubtedly, for 3 games in a row, player of the game. I mean, wow. If this was regular season, you got to sit there and think that this guy was the MVP, but, that voting is passed, and he put up a great series, though.
yeah, very proactive early. I mean, this one's interesting. I mean, it was not on very many people's pick'ems, to say the least. Obviously, if you're Omega, you had full confidence in your team, able to do this. There were people, even the people that picked BLM, which you can't fault people picking BLM when they were the undefeated #1 team. But I mean, a lot of people were saying that Omega definitely had it in them. The kind of late season, they've looked really, really solid as a team. Obviously, the role swapped between mid and AD carry seems to have very much worked out in these last 2 weeks. So, yeah, I mean, they're looking like a different team compared to what we saw at least 1 or 2 series early on in the split. But who cares about any of that? They are on their way to a convincing finals ticket.
Yeah. Regardless of who they face, given how they looked last week, given how they look this week, I don't care about seeds. Omega's got to be the favorite in finals.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree with you. Let's see. Okay, so who are you thinking? Who's your vote? I mean, it might be a short conversation of who you think is going to be your series MVP.
Yeah, I mean it's 8,000.
You want to think about it for a second?
No. It's 8,000. He played the heck out of this series and just, probably the most impressive jungling we've seen thus far in Rivals League this season.
True. Definitely from a carry champion standpoint. So that's it for the semifinals match. We're gonna pull in a quick interview, get some thoughts from the side of Omega, and it looks like it might be big news. So we'll get big news pulled in here, maybe. All right, big news. Welcome in. Congratulations on your very convincing 3-1 victory over the undefeated team. Just before we get into any crazy questions, I mean, how are you feeling after that one?
I mean, pretty good, honestly. I really enjoy playing with everybody on this team. We're all really good friends, and we've been friends for a long time as well. So it's always fun to win with people that you enjoy playing with.
Oh yeah, definitely in the hard fought matches. It's always a good celebration, and even if you fall, you have some decent camaraderie in there. So yeah, that's good to hear. So you take a 3-1 victory in semifinals. Obviously, I'm going to assume your team had full confidence in yourself. Of course, from a seeding standpoint, you guys were the underdogs, but maybe you guys didn't feel that way, regardless of who you were going to play. Did you expect this one to go 5 games, or at least did you expect it to be a lot closer than it was?
It's something that we recently discovered right before playoffs that this concrete guy is pretty good at ADC. So once we stuck him in the ADC role and put this nightmare guy in the mid lane, then it seemed to work out a lot better for us. So it gave us a lot of confidence going into this match that we had people in their best roles.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a great swap. You guys haven't lost since you made that swap. But I think the big news of this series, excuse the pun there, was 8,000 just ran them over. He was making plays all series long, just so proactive. I mean, in that last game that we just watched, he didn't let Kale live.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just an insane bully experience. He did that to the mid lane in one of the games. What was that like from you guys? Was that kind of what you were looking for? Is just, hard camp a lane and just put them so far ahead it doesn't matter? Or did that just happen?
So my jungler is a little bit insane. He gets a neuron activation whenever he sees someone on the enemy team, and he's just got to use every single ability on them, no matter what. So as long as we follow him when he does that, then it's gonna it's gonna lead to success. So as long as we're following up on his plays, that I mean, he made some really good plays. I know for me specifically, the helping me out a lot in the top lane with the rough matchup late game that the kill's gonna eventually outscale. But knowing where to be on the map and knowing where he needs to use his lead to spread that lead across the map is something that he's really, really good at.
Yeah, and obviously, we personally had 8,000 as a series MVPs. He popped off the last 3 games, but not to overshadow your gameplay. I mean, you were already doing pretty well up there in the top lane, and then you got the flash and the ult from the kill, so then it was kind of easy pickings from the Zins after that. Were there any this last game or any of the games, kind of some head scratching picks that they decided to take top lane into what you were already showing?
Not, I mean, top lane's one of those things that you can play quite a bit of stuff top lane. So there's not really anything that really sticks out top lane to me. I mean, most of it is pretty meta stuff that people follow. I know the Trundle Shen matchup is pretty rough late game if he gets out of hand, but we did a good job of not letting the counter picks get out of hand too much through helping in the jungle and through having leads through the entire map.
Nice. Yeah. It was a great match today. Obviously, you guys are going to finals. Um, it looks like currently that is in game 4. Kachow's up 2-1 over Patriots. Do you have a team you want to see in finals between those two?
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Kachow. Everybody was saying that we're the third best team, and it was clearly, the Patriots and BLM were the two best teams, and no one gave Kachow any kind of credit whatsoever. So shout out to Kachow for, starting, getting the series to 2-1, and I don't know where that game is at right now, but it'd be fun to see a Kachow Omega finals, considering going into playoffs. It was pretty obviously from most everybody in the voting and content of, oh yeah, we're expecting it to be BLM versus Patriots as the two teams that had the best performance of the regular season.
Yeah, that's it'll be an interesting script if that happens. Kind of the two on paper underdog teams ending up in finals. But no, as of right now, they're in game 4. I don't know if I can see how far they're into it. Looks like about 15 minutes in, so might be a little bit before we see who you guys will actually end up playing. You played both teams in the regular season. I assume you guys beat Kachow and lost to Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. So, it interesting storyline if it's Kachow, because the kind of the two underdog teams, or if it ends up being the Patriots, you guys will get your revenge match, kind of like what you just had against BLM, and maybe you prove that BLM and Patriots were not the top two teams, and all that matters is playoffs. So, nonetheless, yeah, congratulations on your series. I think in a good way for you guys. Some people were kind of getting bored at your last two games just because they weren't very close. But nonetheless, I still do want to give a shout out to Braum Lives Matter, as they came in as a super undervalued point wise team and made it this far. So shout out to them. But yeah, congratulations, Omega Gaming, and big news. Appreciate you hopping in.
Hey, and shout out to Poodle25 for having supports don't always get recognized
Yeah,
every
I know.
week.
I hear you.
But great job from Poodle25 as well.
Yeah, yep. All of Concrete's success is Poodle. We know. All right, big news. Have a good one.
You guys as well.
All right, Husky. We made it. We made it into, semifinals week still going on, but from a casting standpoint, it's getting somewhat late. I'm gonna, stick around after we end the stream just to see who ends up actually winning. But no overlays ready or anything like that, and so we're not going to hop into that game. It'll be hopping in halfway through, so it'll be kind of scuffed. So if you have anybody at it, I guess you could probably watch it, or you just wait around to see what's posted in either the banter chat, which will probably happen first, or the match reporting channels of the Discord. And we'll have to see who ends up facing Omega. So what you're saying is you're liking Omega against either team in the finals.
Yeah, they just look so great the last two series. Like I said earlier, they lost game 1, and that was because they just made some really boneheaded plays there. I think that, all intents and purposes, they should have won 4-0, because they had all 4 games they should have won that they played tonight against the undefeated number 1 seed. It's hard to go against that when they look so good.
Yeah, game 1 was definitely a toss-up and a winnable game. They looked kind of like a different team after about halfway through that second game. So, shout out to Marco as one of the best viewers of tonight. But no, shout out to BLM. Before the season started, there were some question marks around if points mean a lot. Obviously, an underpointed team won, split 1, and then here BLM by far the least valued point team, since this is Rivals League is a point system. They're like 37 or something like that, at least coming in. So, if OG wins at all, I guess BLM gets third. So, a lot of people may be kind of shocked, but I think after game 1, game 2, it's hard not to be an Omega believer, especially after games 3 and 4. So, I'm excited for the upcoming award show for everybody. It's just based on the regular season. I throw that disclaimer in there. For all the awards that we're going to give out, that'll either be on Wednesday or Sunday before the game. I think that's kind of to be determined, but we'll see. We'll throw that out there in the Discord soon. And then we'll be back here next Sunday night casting Rivals League Split 2 finals.
Yeah, I can't wait.
And
Should be a banger regardless of who's going to be playing against Omega.
True. Hopefully, maybe that one, since it's finals, I'll be okay if it goes 5 games. I'll be okay with that one. I might just call in to work Monday after that. We'll see. But yeah, no, it's been a fun cast. Shout out, since I've been slacking as a Org owner, shout out to Rivals Gold, currently 1-0, undefeated. Or are you going by Rivals Old? Who knows? It's not important. Semantics. Playing tomorrow night. Gonna go 2-0. So shout out to you guys.
We're gonna go 2-0. I mean, everyone on our team is 30 plus, so we went with the Rivals Old here.
Nice. I should have
Little
joined.
play on
I would
words.
have been the youngest old person on the team.
True.
All right. We'll see. They're gonna win it all in Merc League, I think. So
Yep. Yeah.
yeah. Shout out to them. All right, Husky. That's all I got for tonight.